Late at night when the stars fill the sky so wide, I sit and remember how you walked by my side. Through every valley, every tear I couldn't hide, you turned my stumbling steps into a steady stride. Think about the times I thought I'd never make it through, but you whispered your commands and showed me what is true. Now every morning I wake up and I know it's real. Your ways are higher than anything I could ever feel. Yahuwah, you're amazing every single day. The way you lead me, the path you lay, I'm lost in wonder at the love you display. Yahuwah, you're amazing in every way. I read your Torah and my heart starts to burn. Each line of obedience makes my ruach turn. From chasing shadows to walking in your light, you rewrite my story in the still of the night. The more I surrender, the clearer I see how your perfect will is the only place to be. No fancy words, just a quiet yes from me, and suddenly your peace comes washing over me. Yahuwah, you're amazing every single day. The way you lead me, the path you lay, I'm lost in wonder at the love you display. Yahuwah, you're amazing in every way. Friends may wonder why I choose this narrow road, but I've tasted the truth and it carries my load. When the world pulls hard and the flesh wants to stray, I remember your voice and I choose to obey. You take the ordinary and make it set apart. You write a new chapter straight on my heart. Every yes I give you opens up the door to see your hand moving like never before. Yahuwah, you're amazing every single day. The way you lead me, the path you lay, I'm lost in wonder at the love you display. Yahuwah, you're amazing in every way. Baruch Yahuwah, for the thoughts you have for me, more than the sand on the shore, all the stars I see. From the first breath of dawn till the evening sky, I'll walk in your ways till the day I die. The obedience path isn't heavy like they say. It's the sweetest freedom I have found today. So I'll sing it soft, and I'll sing it loud and true. Yahuwah, my Elohim, I'm forever amazed by you. You're amazing every single day. The way you lead me, the path you lay, I'm lost in wonder at the love you display.
Shabbat Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shabbat Shalom. My name is Jason.
I'm Caden. I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Eli.
And we are the Yahoo and the Torah channel. And we can't thank you guys enough for being a part of this little itty bitty tiny family as we are broadcasting from out in the middle of a tropical rainforest. And you guys will hear all sorts of sound effects that are coming from our roof, from our dogs, from a little bit of everything. And so you'll have to bear with us through all of this as we do the very best that we can to bring this to you guys on this beautiful Shabbat. And if this is the first time you guys have ever heard of a Shabbat, well, welcome. If this is the first time you've ever kept a Shabbat, well, welcome. And for those who keep the Shabbat all the time, congratulations, welcome, welcome. We love you all. And we can't thank you enough for just being a part of our family. And we are the family who believes that the first 5 books of scriptures, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, well, they are our technical manual. They are the guide post to everything in our life. Just like you would not pick out something like a scientific device that you didn't know how to use, you wouldn't just pull it out of the box and set it up and understand it. That's the same thing when it comes to Torah. You can't just understand what you have never read. And the problem that we have with this so-called religious system that we are inundated with, and there's a religion for everyone, and everybody has a religion. Christianity has 100,000 different versions of it. Well, every single one of these go against what the scriptures say. So in the thought process of why are we doing things that the scriptures say we shouldn't do, that's where we are trying to unlearn the lies. This is where we are trying to find those of you guys out there who want a better way forward. Those of you who are sick of the system that we are in. Those of you that are sick of the society that we are in. Because when we are Torah-based, when we are observing these laws, statutes, and commands, that makes us candidates for a different kingdom, for a different group of people, for a different city style of group of people, right? But if we don't keep these commandments, well, then we have none of this. And to even have our Messiah that is going to become an advocate for us for our sins, we can't be living a lawless life. According to him, he says, "Depart from me, you who work lawlessness." Now, whenever somebody comes knocking on my door, which they don't because we're in the middle of the jungle, but if they did and they knocked and I said, "Get out of here, you bum," they're not going to come in the door, right? They're not like, "Oh man, this guy's like, get out of there," right? Well, when you say, "Depart from me, you who work lawlessness," when it's coming from the Messiah, who's the son of the creator of the universe, that's the same thing. "Get out of here, you bum." And you're going to go, but we did all these things in your name. And he goes, "Well, by your works, I know you." And that is the problem with this religious system that we are in, is people put no value on works. They put it only on this. They have a grace doctrine. And the grace doctrine is you can do what you want, whenever you want. And when you look at what the definition of grace is, which is unearned, undeserved kindness or mercy, you're not going to get this grace card when we are not Torah observant. So guys, if you're looking to find out what the Torah is, if this is the first time you've ever done it, we're going to go over this. And it's not hard. It's not something that is going to plague you. In fact, if you listen to this Torah and you write it on your heart, mind, and soul, I promise you that your life will be different. It's going to start dramatically changing everything you know about life and everything you are willing to do with life. So with that, Cade, will you please open us up in prayer?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for bringing this family all together. Thank you for bringing all people from all across the world together today to read your word, to celebrate your Shabbat. And we ask that those who hear this today are turned back to you, or turned back to Israel, to be turned back to be the Hebrew people. We thank you for your blessings, and we thank you for your kindness upon us, that you gave us such a day of rest, that you gave us a day off from all the rest of the trials and tribulations of the world. And we ask that your Ruach is upon us today as we dive into these words, as we see your Torah, as we see what your servants has said many years ago. We thank you for following up his name. Amen.
its light. Yahuwah's laws are the rhythm that makes wrong turn right. Those who want to truly live God, every command, kingdom citizens obey and take their Father's hand. Yeah, they labeled it a heavy yoke, a chain around the neck, but Yahuwah calls it life itself. Protect, provide, direct. Easy on the weary, simple for the child to see. 4 simple words: love me, love my family. Not bondage, it's breath. Not burden, it's light. Yahuwah's laws are the rhythm that makes wrong turn right. Those who want to truly live God, every command, kingdom citizens obey and take their Father's hand. No starving ox while he plows your field for grain. No beating up the disabled, his mercy stays the same. No roadkill on your table, no blood upon your plates. His ways are pure protection, never, ever hate. Not bondage, it's breath. Not burden, it's light. Yahuwah's laws are the rhythm that makes wrong turn right. Those who want to truly live God, every command, kingdom citizens obey and take their Father's hand. Yeah, they scream legalism while the world falls apart. Family shattered, governments corrupt from the start. But the Torah is the glue that holds a nation tall. Remove it and watch Babylon rise, and watch the righteous fall. Not bondage, it's breath. Not burden, it's light. Yahuwah's laws are the rhythm that makes wrong turn right. Those who want to truly live God, every command, kingdom citizens obey and take their Father's hand. It's not about perfection, it's about direction true. A heart that says your will, not mine, that's what he's asking you. Easy, yes, life-giving, more than words can say. The lawless call it chains, the wise call it the way. Not bondage, it's breath. Not burden, it's light. Yahuwah's laws are the rhythm that makes wrong turn right. Those who want to truly live God, every command, kingdom citizens obey and take their Father's hand. Not bondage, it's breath. Not bondage, it's breath. Even when I couldn't see him, Yahuwah was near. I walked through valleys carved in dread, with heavy thoughts inside my head. I feared the dark would swallow me, but Yahuwah walked silently. Yahuwah, you are my shepherd, cut off ocean strong and true. Yahushua, you are my shelter, your shalom pulls me through. A wolfish whisper chased my mind. I thought I'd fall behind, and Ruach HaKodesh came like fire and lifted me above the mire. Yahuwah, you are my shepherd, Kadosh and strong and true. Yahushua, you are my shelter, your shalom pulls me through. A shadow moved beside my feet, not threat but mercy, soft and sweet. And I realized with holy awe, His presence was my greatest law. Yahuwah, you are my shepherd, Kadosh and strong and true. Yahushua, you are my shelter, your shalom pulls me through. Now when the night returns again, I will not bow to fear or men, for in my darkest place I know Yahuwah will never go. Yahuwah, you are my shepherd, Kadosh and strong and true. Yahushua, you are my shelter, your shalom pulls me through. The sea obeyed, and Yahuwah buried the oppressor. A tyrant ruled with iron breath. He chained the babies, worshipped death. But you heard cries beneath the light and built a road through water's crack. Yahuwah, deliverer, cut our storm and fire. Yahushua, redeemer, you lift us higher, higher. The sea stood up like walls of glass. The people walked, the night was past. But Pharaoh chased with rage and pride until the waters took his ride. Yahuwah, deliverer, cut our storm and fire. Yahushua, redeemer, you lift us high, higher. The chariot sang, the chains were gone. The people danced at break of dawn. And Torah rose like living flame as we declared your mighty name. Yahuwah, deliverer, cure our storm and fire. Yeshua, Redeemer, you lift us higher, higher. So every Pharaoh in my way must bow when you decide the day. For sea's still part of your command, and freedom walks by your strong hand. Yahuwah, deliverer, cut our storm and fire. Yeshua, Redeemer, you lift us higher, higher. Yahuwah, deliverer, cut our storm and fire. Yeshua, Redeemer, you lift us higher, higher.
All right, beautiful family. It's always an honor to be able to sit and, we're glorifying the name of our Creator. We're glorifying not only His name, but we're doing this in thanks. And thank, at least for me, this is, every single day that I get up, it's not even, I usually get up, it's unfortunate, but I'm usually up around 2 o'clock in the morning. About 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm tossing around, and I'm usually about that time, I'll start praying and I'll start thanking my Creator for everything, for every single breath that I have. I thank Him for my wife and for my family and for my furry friends and family, which are all my pit bulls. And there's nothing in this world that I can find that I am not thankful for, because everything good comes from our Creator, and our Creator is an amazing parent. And for those of us, and a lot of us, we didn't grow up with amazing parents. And that's the one thing about parenting is there's not like a guide, right? The guide to parenting, this is how to do it. The closest that we could possibly have is using scriptures. And even then, it's sometimes a daunting task trying to run a family and do it properly. And I look at the failures of myself in my family as the man of the house, and I think to myself that I'm very, very grateful that our Creator doesn't have the same kind of flaws that I have. And you can see it when it comes to nurturing His people. And all of us from we're all babes in His eyes, right? We're all, we don't control this world. We don't control the source of food. We don't control the source of air. Everything is in the hands of our Creator. And He is been and is a tremendous caretaker of all of us. And one of the greatest things that we can see in this caretaking is that He gave us a thing called the Shema. And the Shema, when you hear the word Shema in Hebrew, it means hear and obey. It's a two-way road when it comes to this particular word. Now, when we are talking about the Shema, we're trying, first of all, it identifies who it's talking to. And the Shema is talking to those who consider themselves the house of Israel. Now, for those, if you guys are new to the Torah walk, if you're new to this channel at all, when you're looking for an identity, when you're looking for a religious system, right, it's very daunting to try to find a religious system that it keeps with the scriptures, right? We have all of these. You can name any single religious system, and I will show you that they are contrary to what the scriptures say. So when we are trying to find our identity and we're trying to find our path and we're trying to find our people, right? Because we live in this world right now, and a lot of you guys, you could look to the left and look to the right, look to your neighbors, look all around you, and you wouldn't consider them your family, right? You're like, yeah, do I want to hang out with these people for all time? Are these the people that we would call Kodesh, that we would call holy? Are these the kind of people that we want to be in a citizenship with? Most of the time we'll say no. And the thing is, we are in captivity, right? We are stuck in the middle of time right now, and we're watching time as it passes by us. And this is the greatest time right now that we can take the Shema, the hearing and obeying. And if we write what we're about to hear right here on our heart, mind, and soul, and truly understand what this is saying, then we have done ourselves a great service. So with that, let us read the Shema. Jade, please read this slowly. Read it to them, our brothers and sisters, as a love letter from our Creator to all of you guys.
Hear, O Israel, Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah is one. And you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your might. And these words I am commanding you today shall be in your heart, and you shall impress them upon your children, and shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And shall bind them as a sign in your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates.
Okay, now when we're reading this, there's a couple things. There's a word in here that is the word is them. Them. And first of all, before we even talk about the word them, we need to define what exactly them is. And when you look at verse 6 of this Shema, it clearly tells us what them is. And the them is these words. Now, to get to the understanding of what these words are, when we're in this religious construct, right, man-made religious system, nobody has any value on the words. If you ask any of the Christians, they'll go, what are the words of our Creator? They might tell you the 10 Commandments. They'll say, well, those are 10 words. We heard that before. But then we go a little bit further and we try to figure out what exactly are these words that we're talking about. What words? How can we define what words they are? Well, the Torah defines the Torah in of itself. From the very first page of scriptures, it starts giving us the actual things that we need to be accountable for, right? And so we are just about to go over these laws, these statutes, and these commandments that are extremely valuable. And again, if this is the first time you've ever listened, if this is something that that's just brand new and foreign to you guys, please give it a second before you guys just click off, before you guys just kick out of here. There's something to these laws, statutes, and commandments that if you can't just take it from me, but maybe you can take it from the words themselves. And if you will write them on your heart, mind, and soul, if they are a part of your life, and it's something that dramatically changes every moment after you become a Torah keeper. So we're going to go over these, and they're going to be exciting, and we're going to discuss them in detail, hopefully. Before that, we want to greet everybody who's out there. Miss Nicole, can you please give some love and greets to our brothers and sisters?
All right, we have Joanna, Charles, Sarah, and William, and her granddaughter's with her today.
Hey, the granddaughter's here. What's the granddaughter's name?
I don't know.
Hey, granddaughter. It's good to see you. I heard your grandma was extremely excited, and congratulations. Congratulations.
All right, we have Bob, we have Sue, Sister Barb and family, Danny Boy, Trevor, Gail, Jeremy and Callan, Brandy and family, daughter of Yah, and I'm going to say Doc, but I don't know if that's correct, so I apologize.
What's up, Doc? What's up, Doc?
Rick Johnson, Sylvia, Loving Yah, Bat Yahuwah, Honeymoon Stitch, Brian, King, Gigi, Cindy, Michelle Marie, welcome to you, new name, Jeanette, Yahuwah Chan, we have a full house. Still scrolling. There's somebody in Hebrew, I'm sorry, I don't read Hebrew, so I don't know the name.
Oh, shame on you.
I know, welcome to you.
Hello, you in Hebrew.
The Grand is here, and Edward Wright just popped in, and I think I said Sylvia, but I think that's everybody.
All right. Well, shalom, shalom, shalom to everybody now and to everybody in the future. You know, something that's really exciting is that we are we're working on getting these into all the prisons, all of the Shabbats that we've been doing for the last years and years and years. We are going to be popping these into the prisons. And Obi Lyons, is he in here? Is he? I don't know if Chris is here, but Obi Lyons, much love to you, brother. Thank you for helping us with this DVD project or volunteering for it. but it's exciting stuff. And so all of these things that we discuss here on the Shabbat, these are actually going to be heading into other places, people that don't have access to the internet, various things. And so we're really excited about this. Now, what we're going to go over right here is some very exciting things. And I like to turn this over to my youngsters here, my young lions who have grown up to become wild lions. And are you guys wild lions?
No.
No? Not
Pretty,
wild?
pretty relaxed lion.
You're not wild lions? Kid's about to sneeze. And so he's a sneezing lion. So these commandments right here, what we're just about to read, guys, this is called freedom. Like, and this is a crazy thing to say in this world, because all of these people will say that these laws of our Creator are bondage. They will literally have this coming out of their mouths, that this is something that is unattainable. Like, you cannot keep the laws of our Creator. And people will say, well, you think you're better than Moses? Do you think that you can't sin? Do you think you're better than us? Right? And the Christians get very, very, very offended when you are keeping the commandments of our Creator. So I guess before we go into the dogmas that people have about keeping these commandments, please understand that this is the same thing that as you guys were all growing up in your household, those of you that had a father and a mother, those of you that were under their jurisdiction in the house, can you imagine what would happen if they told you to do the dishes and you said, no? I said, your laws are dead and they're on the cross. They're like, what? What are you talking about? You do the dishes, you're going to get whooped. This is the same kind of thing that our beautiful parent, Yahuwah, creator of the universe, some say Yahweh, others say God. It's the Hebrew name is Yahuwah, 𝐉𝐄𝐄𝐄, and some say, lots of variations on it. The same for Yahusha, Yahushua, Yahoshua, right? There's multiple ways that people will interpret the Hebrew linguistic vowels or no vowels and the way they say it. But we're closer than we are to the pagan things. Now, if we tell our parents that we're not going to do the dishes and kick rocks. If your parents ask you, well, do you think this is the sign of somebody that loves their parents with all their heart, mind, and soul? And you would have to be, like a liar or something of the sort, or you're deceiving yourself and saying, yeah, that when I tell my parents to kick rocks because I don't want to do the dishes, that I do love them with all my heart, mind, and soul, right? There has to be a litmus test of, are we being honest? Are we being liars, or are we being truthful? Because there's nothing you could say to convince me that if you hate what a person says, that you love them, right? And that's the Christian conundrum. This is where we're at, where you have billions of people that claim they love the Creator, but they hate what He has them do. So we're going to go over these commandments, and we're going to go over them as slowly as possible. We're not going to try to speed read these, because we've been doing this now for about 4 years or more. So sometimes we get a little speed ready. We try not to, because these are extremely important, and they are things that should not be sped read. And so commandment number 1 comes out of the book of Genesis, and we are reading the book of Genesis. We'll be in Genesis 3 today. And when we first learned this, we learned the commandment of being fruitful. Now, the opposite, obviously, of being fruitful is to what? Not be fruitful, is to be a sloth or something of the sort. Now, as we look at this command and we observe that these things are not bondage to us and they don't put us into a bad place, that's just the first command, be fruitful. Commandment number 2.
Multiply. We are to spread about the earth. Replenish the earth. To give back to the earth. We are not supposed to just take away from it, to replenish the earth and be fruitful with it.
And we subdue it. We have dominion over the fish, fowl, and every living creature. We are the tenants of this land, right? And when the creator of the universe gave Adam the ability to name things, right? There was a power in names, and there always is a power in a name. But this is the gardening or the tending that we have been called to do upon these lands. We weren't just tossed in here. We were told that, we're not supposed to have the lions and tigers and wild animals, so many of them that they just come and attack us, right? We have to subdue them and make sure that we are the masters of the land. Continuing on.
The herb bearing in it, every tree is for food. Yahuwah gave us the herb and the tree for fruit. He gave us that so we do not starve.
Man and woman are supposed to build their own families. When the children are grown up, they're supposed to move out, and they're supposed to create their own families, and they're supposed to repopulate the earth.
Are the kids supposed to move out? That's a good point. There's something to be said here. How old are you guys? 22?
Well, it says they leave their parents because they cleave to their wife as one.
Oh, so we have to get you a wife before you move out. Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Rules apply.
Rules apply. All right. So that's what we're waiting on. So we're waiting on your the ordained hand of the spouse of the is going to be coming.
More
All right.
likely, yeah.
Okay. Well, here we are. I'm good with it. Continue on.
Master sin. You are to take. You're supposed to master sin. Now let sin master you.
And this is a lifetime thing, right? Mastering sin is not. It's 2 words, right? Master sin. Oh, that's easy. For all of us who are in Torah, we very clearly understand what sin is, and this is the problem when you are Torah-less. Like when you are stuck in a religious system where the laws mean nothing to you, you will never master sin. So you're going to die in your sin, and it's not like we're going to die and be perfect, right? It's not like Torah keeping does not make us squeaky clean, right? It does not take, we're not better than anybody else. It's simply that we understand what sin is because we've read the Torah. So if people want to say, okay, you're better than me because you have read the book, maybe. I mean, I've read the book and I choose to read the book and I believe this book is right? So ignorance is not going to be bliss, right? If you die your last breath and go, well, I didn't master sin, and the Creator is sitting there and you have the advocate Messiah Yahushua, and they're like, tell us about your Torah walk. And you're like, what's the Torah? And they're like, that's a problem. And Messiah will say, probably in a kind word, depart from me, you who are Torah-less. And people are just going to be starstruck, right? Their eyes are going to be all googly out. They're going to be like, why am I been kicked out of the kingdom? Well, because we didn't master sin. We never cared what sin mastering was about. And so it's about knowing the Torah and walking the Torah life to the very best of our abilities.
Every clean moving thing that lives shall be food for you. Yahuwah wants us to eat the clean animals. He said they're for food. We were supposed to eat them. They were supposed to be for us to eat. We weren't supposed to be vegans or vegetarians.
Hey, whoa. What do you mean we're not supposed to be vegans or vegetarians?
We're commanded to eat the clean moving things.
Hold on. You got this? You got this? All right.
When Noah got off the boat, when Noah got off the ark, there was no vegetables, there was no nothing. Everything was covered in
There's
water.
no vegetables. What do you mean?
Everything was covered in water. They had a tiny itty bitty mountain, and he goes, well, you need food. The clean food that comes out of this is for you. That's why I packed 7 of each of the clean animals. These are for you.
Right, but I mean, as far as being I don't think there's anything wrong with being a vegetarian or a vegan.
They didn't eat meat until like around Noah's time. They were eating vegetables.
Absolutely. So I don't think there's anything wrong with being a vegetarian. I mean, there's some extremely... Jubs, are you just a meat eater? Is that it? You're a giant carnivore? Yes. Well, there's people that will absolutely claim that meat is a killing thing, and there are people that will absolutely claim that, just eating vegetarian stuff is listen, everything in moderation, right? I mean, it is what it is. Our bodies have been built to be able to take care of this, and people throw rocks at you for saying there's the vegetarian. There's no such thing as like things like that. So let's just keep it there. All right.
Do not eat the blood. The blood is life. It is supposed to be kept away from your mouth. Do not eat the blood.
Yeah, it's supposed to be thrown on the ground, right? There's life is in the blood. Something about blood is obviously something that is not part of our dietary thing for sure. Walk before me and be perfect. This goes back to the mastering sin one, right? When we're sitting here talking about mastering sin, you will never be able to make this commandment number 10 of walk before me and be perfect, unless you understand what the Torah is, right? Telling somebody, let's pick on Christians for one quick second, right? The Christian, you'll tell them, listen, all you have to do to be saved is walk before the Creator and be perfect. And they're like, well, I am. They're like, well, Jesus died for my sins, and now I can't sin. They will literally say that. But that's not what this is. See, you can't walk before the Creator and be perfect unless you understand what perfection is. Perfection is the Torah. There's nothing in life that is more perfect than the Torah of our Creator. And that is what we have to know. And back to the ignorance is not bliss, is if we die and live our last breath and, call it that, it's a bad thing. It's a very, very bad thing. We've been given all this time on these lands to pick up these scriptures and attempt to walk before our Creator and attempt to be perfect. Doesn't mean we are, but it's just that we are trying to every single day. Next one.
God Yahuwah's covenant, laws, statutes, and commandments. This is his most commanded thing. This is what he wants to do the most. He wants us to guard these. He wants us to keep these, to do as his Torah says. Every male shall be circumcised 8 days old. It is the covenant between the males and Yahuwah, and this is the way we show that we are the children of Yahuwah.
Teach your children the commands and guard the way of Yahuwah, right? This is all part of the Torah walk, right? When we are in a family of Torah keepers, this is just the way it is, right? The Torah is our life, right? We just like we're sitting here on a Shabbat. We would never sit on a seventh day. We would never sit on any other day like at a business. We would never go to a carnival. We would just never do a tremendous amount of things. And when you raise your kids up in these values, when you raise your children up in the way that our Creator wants us to do, it passes it on, right? It goes for all generations. And I've talked about it before that my wild lion boys, if we were not in the Torah, it would be far, far, far worse living this Babylonian life that we're stuck into and having to exist where we do if the boys were completely renegades, more than they are. Continue on.
I have to go back to your vegan comment.
Oh boy.
Here we are.
Nope.
Joanna says I'm not a complete vegan, but I stopped eating meat because of the
Metals?
The shot.
Oh, the stuff in there?
Yeah, where they were doing like the shots in the meat.
Yeah. Look, I've watched my wife cook up meat before, and I look at that and I go, that should not be eaten. I'm like, that is something that is not good looking. Like it doesn't look good. I could totally be a vegetarian or vegan. Maybe not a vegetarian for sure though.
Vegans go. It's like they eat milk and eggs. They're kind of everything, right? It's like,
Yeah.
So
It's all
vegan
plants.
is
it's
what?
like plants.
Vegan is all plants. It's
All plants.
plant-based. There's
Right.
No eggs, no cheese.
Tofu,
no,
right?
Yeah.
Tofu. Okay. All right. I don't know where
Remember
we're at.
Yahuwah's name for all generations.
Yes, thank
Do
you.
not forget Yahuwah. His name was supposed to be. Remember, his name is not God. His name is not Lord. It is Yahuwah. Remember the Passover, the Pesach, which is the first feast of the year. It is a remembrance and also a practice for when the time comes that we return to the land.
Keep the feast of unleavened bread, the festival of Matzah, another appointed time, right? We have appointed times throughout the years that are ordained by our Creator. One is today, right? If you guys are keeping a Shabbat, then here we are. Congratulations. We are keeping the festival. This is a feast day. It's a feast day of our Creator, right? A Shabbat is a feast day. It's a day that we are resting. It's just more appointed times of our Creator. And it's the reason we don't need the Christmases. We don't need the Ishtars. We don't need the Thanksgivings. We don't need all these pagan holidays that everybody's into. We have our own Kodesh days that our Creator has sanctified before us. All right, next.
Keep the festival of unleavened bread, the festival of Matzah. This is.
What I just did, didn't it? Yeah.
Did you do Pesach? Pesach.
Yeah, so next one, there's one Torah.
All right, there's one
Something.
Torah for the stranger and the Hebrew. It does not matter where your race is, where you're from, you are to keep the Torah the same as everyone else, even if you are not blood-born into Yisrael. If you wanted to be part of Yisrael, you were to keep the same Torah.
Sanctify all firstborn to Yahuwah. It came out of the land of Mitzrayim, right? This is something that, from all time, the firstborns were always sanctified to our Creator. And, what's interesting is that when it came to the firstborn being sanctified, there is no better example than our Messiah, who became that firstborn. He became that sacrifice. And so Yah's laws are very, very important, as well as his appointed times, right? All of his appointed times are, they're flowing part of our world. And, as we get into these appointed times and nobody else wants to keep the appointed times, you can see why these things are set apart for Yah's people. Continue on.
There are no mighty ones before Yahuwah. Yahuwah is a jealous hell. He said there is no one before him. He should be worshipped in him only.
You shall not make graven images. And so it's simple enough, right? I mean, we put crosses around our necks. People are always making pictures of all sorts of crazy stuff, right? But there's a thing that we know our Creator is we don't have to make pictures of him. We don't have to make idols. We don't have to make things that represent him. He's all around us, right? The living proof of our Elohim is every breath that we take. All right, continue on, fellas.
There are no mighty ones. Are that on that one?
We did that one. There, no, do not bring Yahuwah's name to naught. You are not to take away Yahuwah's name and bring it to nothing. You are supposed to revere it. It is the greatest name that could ever be.
Keep the Shabbat, the Sabbath day. That's what we are doing now. We are obeying it. We are keeping it. We're not doing any work. We're not buying. We're not selling. This is the day where everything rests. Your employees, your animals. It is the day to spend with Yahuwah. Yahuwah created the earth in 6 days, and on the seventh day he rested, and he said for us to do the same.
Honor your parents. It's a big one, right? There's a lot of things here, and it's one of these things, right? The long-haired among us, those who are trying to keep us alive, those are it's hard to be a parent, right? A lot of times we make a lot of mistakes, and one of the things is, we're supposed to honor our parents. And when you look at the Torah commands of our Creator, these are all wonderful things. We live in a crazy world right now, and kids are. It's just the families are a rare thing. Like actually, like to have a full-on family with mother, father, and kids. You don't see that very often anymore. And so it all comes down to Torah keeping, right? If you raise your kids up in Torah, more than likely they should be observing you and honoring you and taking care of you and all these kind of things. So it's just all part of Yah's commands.
Do not kill. It is not in your choice who lives and who dies. It is not something you should do. You should not be taking life from another person.
Do not break wedlock. Wedlock is a very holy thing. It's a covenant between two people and with Yahuwah, and Yahuwah does not break it. We're not supposed to be adulterers or do these kind of things and defile yourselves.
Do not steal. More, there's it's over and over and over in scriptures, right? But we have it in the 10 Commandments, obviously, not to steal, and it's part of what it makes to make a good society, right? If people are out there stealing stuff from you all the time, then you're having a breakdown of society. Continue on.
Do not make false accusations against your neighbor. You are not to. This is part of lying. This is part of being untruthful. This is part of harming someone else. You are not to sit there and make false accusations to ruin their life. You're not supposed to make false accusations to go against them and cause people to go against them. This is dishonest. Who wants an honest people?
Do not covet anything of your neighbors. If it does not belong to you, it is not yours. It is not something that you have. You can buy it. You can go make your own buy. You can rightly, but you cannot steal. You should not covet, because covet leads to lust and other things that more sins, and it just adds up. So if it does not belong to you, you should not lust after it.
Do not make an altar from a rock that a tool has touched. The altar is supposed to be a Kodesh thing. It is supposed to be a man-made thing with hands only and not to be with the tool. It is supposed to be a natural thing. Do not go up to the altar by the steps. Steps were not for normal people to go up to. Steps were for the priests. It was for the people that Yahuwah ordained, and Yahuwah said to go up by the steps. If a man steals cattle, he shall restore it 5 times. In order to make things right, Yahuwah said, if you steal something, you are going to repay it back 5 times.
Yahuwah's laws for criminals. Yahuwah has a set of laws for criminals, whether they are innocent or not, the cities they run to, and the places. Now the cities more likely don't exist, but Yahuwah does have a plan, and I'm sure when they turn back to the land, they will have the cities again.
Do not lie with beasts. It shouldn't even be a command, but it is an abomination. It is evil. It is a thing that if you are found with this, you are to be stoned, and so is the animal with it.
No sacrifices to other Elohim. Don't sacrifice anything to other Elohim. It's only supposed to be to Yahuwah, and there's no other God. There's no other mighty ones. There's nothing that we worship or sacrifice to.
Do not oppress the stranger, fatherless, or widow. These are the people struggling the most, and we are supposed to build them up. If you bring harm to them, you are an evil person. This should not be a command. This should be an obvious thing that you should be taking care of those who are broken, those who have nothing left.
Do not charge your brother interest. When you were to loan something to your brother, to the people of Yahuwah, those who are in Torah, you are not supposed to charge them interest. You're not supposed to add on to them. You give them it, and they give you exactly back what you give them.
If you borrow your neighbor's raiment, return it to him before sunset. Back in the day, people only had one set of garments. If you were to take their clothes as a pledge for a loan or for something, for some sort of payment, you were supposed to bring it back to them so that they were not freezing in the middle of the night.
Do not curse the ruler of your people. And this is not talking about the presidents and the prime ministers of today. This is talking about the people who are over Yisrael, who were the kings, like King Saul and David, and the ones who are doing Torah, the ones who are obeying Yahuwah, the ones who are falling into what Yahuwah said to do.
Do not eat what is torn of any beast. You are not to eat roadkill. It is probably plagued, it probably has diseases, and it is probably really unhealthy for you. If you eat that and you get sick, that's on you.
No false report. Yahuwah wants honesty in everything. When you make reports, you don't want anything to be fake, no details left out. Yahuwah wants everything to be honest as it is.
Do not follow a multitude of evil. It's obvious, right? I mean, we don't do these things, right? The people of Yah are they're not. We just don't do this. We're set apart people. We're sanctified. We're just a different group, right? If people look at us, we're just a bunch of tzitzit wearing, set apart people. We're not out on the Shabbat. We're not out on high Shabbats. We do what's different, and that is what is all part of that.
Do not judge unrighteously against the poor. Just like the fatherless and widow, just like those who are down, you're not supposed to hurt the poor. You're not supposed to judge unrighteously against them. If there's a rich man and a poor man, there should be no difference in how the Torah is carried out.
Bring back your enemies' cattle if you find it going astray. If the cattle of your enemies is wandering away and you see it and you know who belongs to you, return it to them. The animals are not your enemy. The animals will get hurt wandering away. And you're supposed to protect the animals. They are Yahuwah's creatures. Even if you have some contention with another person, the animals did not wrong you.
Help the animals of your enemy. If you see an animal in need or needs help, even if your enemies, help it out. It is not your enemy. Stay away from rumors and gossipers. And just like false reports, just like this command, you are to be honest. You're supposed to be truthful. You're supposed to be just in everything that you say. And if you are going around creating gossips and rumors, you are breaking Yahuwah's commands.
Take no bribes. We're not supposed to take bribes. It blinds the eye. It corrupts the soul. We're not supposed to take bribes. We're supposed to be honest in everything that we do.
Do not oppress a stranger. Love the stranger. If someone is around and they need help, do not oppress them. They have refugees and they don't need you to attack them. Give your land rest in the 7th year. And this is the Jubilee. In the 6th year, you're supposed to finish up all your farming. In the 7th year, your land is supposed to rest.
Do not mention any pagan names. Pagan names can bring in demons. They can bring in bad things. So we don't want to say these names. We only want to say the name of our Creator, which is Yahuwah.
Keep the feasts of Yahuwah. We should keep all his feasts. We shouldn't ignore any of them, and we should do them exactly as he wants to. Do not cook your goat in his mother's milk. This is a pagan tradition. This is very evil in the eyes of Yahuwah. It's an abomination to him. And this is why this command is here. Do not cook your goat in his mother's milk.
Obey the messenger. Yahuwah is before you. Yahuwah sent the messenger before you, and he is clarified to be Yahuwah's messenger, and you have sought it out. Then you obey him. You do what he tells you to do. You follow what he says that Yahuwah says for you to do.
Do not bow down to other Elohim. We should only worship Yahuwah. He's the only we should bow down to, the only we should listen to, and we shouldn't bow to any false mighty ones. Serve Yahuwah. You are to serve him in everything that you do. Your goal should be to serve Yahuwah.
Make no covenant with other Elohim or outsiders of the land. We're not supposed to make any covenant with the people of Gentiles or the people that are Torahless or the people that believe in other gods. We're not supposed to sacrifice or make pacts with other gods.
Do not make use of anointing oil on a normal person. Do not make use of perfume on a normal person. So it is a special concoction specifically for the priests that they would put on, and it was not for the regular people to use.
Do not eat the fat. If he wants the fat burned to him, he wants it a savory smell. We're not supposed to eat it. It is not healthy for us to eat the fat.
Do what you say you are going to do. If you have made a covenant, if you made a promise, you are going to carry it out. Yahuwah wants, again, honestly, the people that can be trusted with their word. Return what is your neighbor's. If there's something of your neighbor's you find that you have returned to them, do not steal it. Do not take it away from them.
Obey Yahuwah's dietary laws. Yahuwah has laws for us to obey. He has things for us not to eat. He says, do not eat the swine. Do not eat shrimp. Those are things that are unclean, and we need to stay away from those. And when we eat those, we are going to sin, and we are also hurting ourselves.
When it's time of separation, there is a specific time that you should leave them alone, and they need rest.
Obey Yahuwah's hygiene laws. Yahuwah has set up hygiene laws for people to clean when they become unclean, in the way they bath at sunset, or if they touch a corpse. And Yahuwah has laws for everything, any type of uncleanness.
And I wanted to throw this in there on the hygiene laws, because even though it shows we have 157 commands, inside the hygiene laws there are commands such as if you go and you have to go to the restroom and you have to go number 2, take a trowel, right? You're supposed to take a little, like a shovel, and you're supposed to clean it up, right? And these are these commands that we're like, do we put this in the main things, or we keep this under hygiene laws? And because we're living mostly a plumbed out world where everybody has plumbing, but they're all, there are more commands than the 157 inside of these, like the hygiene laws, touching corpses and various times and various things. And so if you want to get fully educated, like on the hygiene laws, and you'd want to like go through, like on our commands here, and you'd want to read through all the chapters and find out exactly what they are and what they have. So I just want to throw that in there, just so people don't say there's like, just 157. Inside of it, there's it digs down for various things.
Keep the Day of Atonement, Yom HaKippurim. It's one of the later feasts, or not a feast, but it's one of the later appointed times, and you are to afflict your being and repent.
Do not uncover the nakedness of your family. You are not supposed to see your family naked. You're supposed to do that kind of thing. It is wicked. It is very unholy. And Yahuwah says, stay far away from these things.
Do not take your own sister for wife. If when we were in the land when there were multiple wives that were allowed, you wouldn't marry your wife's sister because they would get in fights. There'd be a lot of contention, just like what happened with Rachel and Leah. Do not lie with a woman in her uncleanness. When she is unclean, you're supposed to stay away from her. You're supposed to give her rest. You're not supposed to go into her.
Do not sacrifice your children to Moloch. We're supposed to not sacrifice your children at all, but especially not to Moloch. As a pagan tradition, the Gentiles were all doing. They were all sacrificing their children to Moloch and expecting blessings from Moloch. We're not supposed to sacrifice our children because that is not multiplying and bearing fruits.
Do not be a sodomite. This is an abomination before Yahuwah, and anyone who did it would be put to death.
Be Kodesh, holy. And all that we're doing, we are trying to we have a set of guidelines, right? And the set of guidelines, you wouldn't even know what being Kodesh or being holy is, right? If you ask those who are in the religious system, what does it mean to be holy, right? Nobody's going to be able to tell you what it is. Now, for those of us who are in Torah keeping, who read the scriptures, we understand very clearly that to be unkodesh means that we are absolutely, we're not keeping the Torah of our Creator. And so the opposite of that is that we're keeping these. And these same laws, statutes, and regulations that we're reading right here, this is our road to Kodesha. This is the way that we can be more holy than we are now. And again, I'm not talking perfection. I'm not talking like we just don't sin or that we're above anyone else. We just understand what sin is, and we try to align our lives in such a way that we are not getting a frown or the eyebrows down of our Creator, where He's told us something and we're just violating it. Continue on.
Do not reap the corners of your field, or you shall not glean your vineyard. When you have a crop, when you have a full field of food, you're not supposed to take all of it. You're supposed to leave a chunk of it so that the fatherless, the poor, the widow, they can have food that you were able to give back because God has given to you.
You want to do a falsehood or defraud your neighbor. You're supposed to do everything in honesty. You're supposed to cheat your neighbor or do evil things to your neighbor. So love our neighbor.
Do not lie or be a liar. We're supposed to be truthful in everything that we do, and we should have correct ways of measure. We shouldn't lie to anyone.
Pay your workers the day's wage they are due. If you work your just and he's owed, you need to pay him for that day. Unless you make a deal with him on set times, then you need to pay him for what he is worked for.
Do not harm the disabled. Just like the poor fatherless widow, you're supposed to build them up. You're supposed to protect them. You're supposed to take care of them. You're not supposed to harm them.
Do not endanger your neighbor. You're not supposed to hurt your neighbor. You are supposed to take care of your neighbor. If you endanger him, then you are breaking the Torah.
Do not hate your brother. You are to love your brother. He is family. He is someone who keeps the commandments as well. You should not hate him. Rebuke your neighbor for his sin. If your neighbor is in sin and you see him in sin, you are supposed to let him know that he is in sin. You are supposed to call him out for his sins.
Love your neighbor as yourself. You're supposed to love your neighbor as yourself. Treat them how you want to be treated. If you wouldn't do something to your own self, don't do it to your neighbor.
Do not diverse your cattle. We should have only one type of cattle with the others, and we shouldn't try and mix them. Do not mingle your seed. If you have seed, you're supposed to have specific fields, you have specific spots for seeds. You're not supposed to mix them all together.
Do not mingle linen and wool. It creates a frequency that hurts the human body. We're not supposed to mix them and wear them because they can affect us and make our bodies hurt.
Do not lie with a taken woman. Anyone who did it, they will be put dead. It was an abomination before Yahuwah. Do not eat the fruit of the trees for 3 years. And once your trees bear fruit, you're supposed to let them gain nutrients. You're supposed to let them grow strong until their flavor and their fruit is strong.
Do not practice sorcery. Stay away from sorcery, the witchcraft, the magicians. Everything that has to do with magic, we're supposed to stay away from. It is demonic and it uses very evil things of the demons and all that kind of stuff.
Do not round your beard to the corner of your head. If you have a beard, you're not supposed to stylize like the pagans. They were into the fashion of customizing their beards. If you're going to have a beard, grow it out or not at all. Do not cut yourself for the dead. Shouldn't cut ourselves all this. Specifically, do not do it for the dead.
Do not get tattoos. Yahuwah did not mark your body, do not create you with marks on your body. He doesn't want you to add permanent markings to your body. If he wanted you to have tattoos, then he would have given us some kind of option, but that is marking our bodies permanently, and Yahuwah created us in his image, and we are defacing our bodies.
Do not prostitute your daughter. You're not to do this evil abomination. You're not supposed to do this. This is a heavy crime. This is something that is very evil in the eyes of Yahuwah. Do not defile your temple. We're supposed to keep our bodies pure before Yahuwah, and we shouldn't pollute them.
Do not consult the medium, the practicer of witchcraft, the one who speaks with the dead. We are not supposed to consult them. We're not supposed to talk to them. They should be kicked outside of the land, and we should have nothing to do with them.
All right, let's jump into this real quick. Batya was talking about polygamy. Polygamy in the Bible. We've had this discussion. I mean, we've had this discussion a gazillion times, and yeah, I mean, this is nothing new, sis. I mean, people, especially Torah-based groups, there's a lot of them. I mean, there's literally a lot of them. In fact, I'm not even gonna name names. I'm definitely not naming names. But there's a tremendous amount of people, and like a lot of the there's actually Bible manufacturers that preach, and they're all into polygamy, and so. You know, the problem is number one here. If you, in the society that we are living into right now, there is no need for polygamy, right? Number one, when you're talking about having a wife, multiple wives, and the whole point of the multiple wives was to raise up a family as quickly as possible. In the event that you're out in the middle of a desert or something like this, and 500 marauders come by and wipe out your entire civilization, right? You're all dead. The only shot that you would have is to build your family as quickly as possible, and you end up with a bunch of people all around you. And that was the reason behind all of this, right? In today's world that we live into, it is hard enough to find me a single man and a single woman who is just rocking the family structure. Somebody who has just made it to perfection when it comes to husband and wife and family. And when you believe that you have such an endeavor and that you have a happy family, the first way to absolutely, completely screw this up is to bring in somebody else into this. And it is something that you're never, ever going to have a happy wife. You're probably never going to have happy wives. It's going to be a set of women that are fighting for their man, and it's going to be a jacked up household, and you are not going to be raising a family and correctly. Now, I'm sure there are, we do know people that literally live in polygamy and literally have multiple wives. And it was a shock for us when they first said this, and we knew the wife, and we didn't know the wives, but we knew the wife, and we didn't know what to say. We felt really bad for the wife, and it's one of these things. The guy goes, "Well, they're really good friends and all this other stuff," but it doesn't make for a complete household, right? When Messiah talked, the whole point of marriage is always taking two flesh, two, Adam and Eve, not Adam and Eve and Betty, and making them one flesh, right? And that's the power of it. And for those of you guys who've been married for any time at all, for a good marriage, there is a unity of spirit. There is a bond of spirit in of this, that you're not going to achieve this, I do not believe, and I might be wrong, but I'm just thinking that it's going to be very, very, very hard to ever get together a big family, and you're not going to have the marauders come by and wipe out your whole family. Mystical, what do you got?
I was just laughing at Rick's comment.
Okay.
Most men can't handle one, let alone two.
Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely going to have to be. I mean, it is hard enough to have a good marriage, right? To say that, yeah, my marriage is great. And I love my marriage, but the last thing, what I would do to destroy my marriage is to tell my wife that I'm going to be bringing in another wife. That would be the end of it. That would, how do you find how's that love, right? How is that something that you guys are going to be able to promote your family and promote all this stuff when you're bringing in somebody outside? It is not a recipe for a good marriage. It is not something that outside of the Old Testament and outside of, like guys like Solomon, who like the greatest necromancing Freemason, wizard of all times, where he had a billion wives. And, that was his downfall, right? Sacrificing to other gods, lowercase g, because of one of his wives that were all, heretic, pagan style women that just like, hey, let's go sacrifice to Baal. It's like, all right, let's do it. So it's not a good thing, right? It's just a bad thing, right? Every single thing. There's large Torah-based groups that are totally down with this, that fight everybody who says it's not a good thing. But I would fall on my sword and say it is absolutely not a good thing. So regardless, and it's not against the Torah. It's not against it. This is not a Torah command thing, right? You would be inside of Torah if you had multiple wives, but at that same level, when you destroy the one family you have and you make your wife an adulterer because she doesn't want to be with you and the whole thing, I mean, it's a bad move. It's just really, really a bad move. All right, I'm getting on my soapbox. Guys, where are we at? Let's start making the circle again here.
We were on, where were we?
I think respect your elders. You're supposed to respect them. They've been around longer than us. We should listen to them because they have wisdom.
Have correct weights and measures. Everything we're supposed to do is to be balanced and fair. Prices are supposed to be over. To cheat people. Who wants honesty?
Not walk in the manners of the nation. You are supposed to stay far away from what the traditions of man are. You're supposed to follow in Yahuwah's Torah and his commands. You're not supposed to walk in the manners of everyone else. Keep feast of first fruits, Shavuot, Omer, Pentecost. It is another feast of Yahuwah where it's a high Shabbat and you do no work.
Keep the feast of trumpet, Yom Teruah. Who wants the day of blasting, able to blow the shofars and take the day off.
Keep the feast of the coat, Shemini Etzeret. It is the last feast of the year. It is where you go out and camp in booths for 7 days, and there are 2 high Shabbats. If you blaspheme the name of Yahuwah, you shall be put to death. Back in the day, if you were to blaspheme Yahuwah and people were here, they were going to take you out and they were going to stone you. This is how it should be today. If you are taking Yahuwah's name and you are blaspheming, you should be dealt with.
If you kill your neighbor's animal, you must give him another. You fix what you have broken. You have killed something, you return him another one.
Repay injury for injury. Back in the day, if someone was injured, then they would repay injury to the other person.
Honor the Yobel, the Jubilee year. The year of return, the year of rest. It is what Yahuwah wants for his people, that they get back what was rightfully theirs.
Confess your sins to Yahuwah and repay who you have trespassed against. If you did wrong, you were supposed to fess up to it. You were supposed to be honest with it, and you were supposed to make what you made wrong. The Torah being Nazir. There is a way to enter a Nazirite vow. Enter a Nazirite vow, or you cannot touch anything dead, you cannot have anything to do with grapes, and you are Kodesh for Yahuwah. Wear zizit on the 4 corners of your garments. When you go out, you are supposed to have 4 zizit. You're supposed to have the sign that you are one of Yahuwah's people. You're supposed to be reminded of the commands when you go out. You're supposed to be surrounded by the commands when you go out.
The law is whoever touches the corpse, someone touches the corpse, they are unclean. They have to bathe. They have to do all these things to enter back into the camp of Israel.
The law of keeping your oath to Yahuwah. If you had made an oath to Yahuwah, you're supposed to follow through with it. The only way that it was able to be voided is if your father heard it. But this is for females, so if your father heard it and voided the oath, then it would be voided. But if you made an oath, you are going to keep it to Yahuwah. Do not add or take away from the word. One of the most important commands, because we need to listen to everything here, and we don't want to cherry pick and take things out or add things in that aren't there.
This could be very well be the most important command of all time, right? If you walked away with nothing else today other than we are not to add or take away from the word, then everything in the Christian religion is satanic. Everything, it doesn't matter what religious system you are in. Judaism, satanic, right? And people are like, oh, that's horrible that you would say things like this. Guys, I'm saying it simply because the Bible says this. Scripture right here says this. Do not add or do not take away from the word. So examples of this are Sunday keeping, Christmas, Easter, New Year's Day, all the Catholicism stuff, right? Throwing water on you by one of the PDF guys that are, the priest guys that are sitting in there that are absolving you of your sin. I can't even say that word on there. I can say PDF, but I can't say.
Really?
Yeah, you can't really say the other words, the things. But we're dealing with a world of PDF files. You know what I mean? And so that's there. All these things, right? Everything inside of this. If you believe something that is not in the actual scriptures, then you're breaking this commandment. So this is where we actually have to come back to the table and figure out what is meat and what is potatoes, or for you vegetarians, what is lettuce and what is hamburger, right? Something like that. Continue on.
Guard your soul. To protect your soul, you're supposed to do as God says. If you're breaking the law, being part of the world, that is not protecting your soul.
Learn to fear Yahuwah. Part of guarding your soul is learning to respect Yahuwah, to fear him, to understand that he is the number one power in the universe, that he is the one that controls life and death.
You shall love Yahuwah with all your heart. Everything that we do, we should be loving Yahuwah. We should always be on our minds. His Torah should be on our minds, and we should always be keeping his commands.
Bind the Torah upon your hand, the frontlets between your eyes. You are supposed to look through the Torah through the eyes of the lens of. You're supposed to look at life through the lens of the Torah. When you go out, you're supposed to judge everything you do according to the Torah. Is this against Torah? Is this not against the Torah? Is this something that Yahuwah would be happy with, or Yahuwah would be sad with? Write the laws on your doorposts. If you have laws on your doorposts, you remember them when you go out, when you walk in, that the Torah is how you live your life.
Do not tempt Yahuwah. We're not supposed to tempt Yahuwah. We're not supposed to try to get him to hurt us, or by sinning, we are tempting him by worshiping other mighty ones, sacrificing our children, doing things against the Torah. That is tempting Yahuwah.
Do what is right and good in the sight of Yahuwah. Yahuwah said, you will do what is good because the Torah is good. He called the Torah good, and that is what is right and good in his eyes.
Do not be afraid of your enemies. Yahuwah wants us to be strong. He wants us to be courageous. He doesn't want us to be afraid of the enemies. When we go to battle, when they come against us, we're not supposed to fear them, because Yahuwah fights for us. Remember Yahuwah. Everything we do, we should always be remembering Yahuwah. We should be thinking about him. He should be on our minds, his commands, his Torah, what he told us to do. We should always be remembering Yahuwah.
Circumcise your heart. When you circumcise your heart, you are entering into covenant. You are humbling yourself. You are becoming one of Yah's people. That is how you circumcise your heart.
Cleave to Yahuwah. To cleave to Yahuwah, we're supposed to attach our lives to him. We're supposed to, what we want is to be part of Yahuwah's world. Swear by his name. If you are going to make an oath, it has to be to Yahuwah, and you cannot break it no matter what.
Destroy graven images. If you have graven images you see, you're supposed to destroy it. You're supposed to break it down. You're supposed to burn the ground around it.
Rejoice in all that Yahuwah has blessed you with. If Yahuwah has given you something, he's given you another day, he has given you air to breathe, water to drink, then you should rejoice because Yahuwah has blessed you with that.
Do not make an idol of Yahuwah, as the pagans do to their Elohim. You are not to build up the idols, you are to break down the idols.
Do not do what is right in your own eyes. We are supposed to do what is right in the eyes of Yahuwah, right according to the Torah. Because we are flawed as humans, where we think something's right, but it is wrong according to Yahuwah. Do not hearken to the words of false prophets. If prophet comes as their prophet and what they say doesn't come true, do not listen to them. If they say follow their mighty ones, do not listen to them. Do not make any balls between your eyes for the dead. When someone dies, you are not supposed to mourn by cutting off the hair or shaving the hair between your eyes. You shall not eat any abominable thing. You shall only eat clean food, things that Yahuwah has said are clean, and not any abominable things.
You shall give to a stranger clean food that dies itself, but you shall not eat of it. If you have an animal that dies and it is clean, you can give it to the stranger inside your gates, but you are not to eat of it.
Give tithe of your increase of seed year by year. Every year we're supposed to give the tithe to the Levites, the priests, the ones that didn't have a job, but they were there working for Yahuwah and helping us with atoning our sins, guiding us, teaching us. They were there to help us, and we were supposed to increase them, and we're not supposed to give our 10% to the guy up in the pulpit who has more money than everyone in the church combined. Laws of the end of the 7-year release. At the end of 7 years, it's similar to the Jubilee, where things are released, slaves are released, people's debts cleared, things like that.
Do not borrow from the nations. You're not supposed to be in the debt of the nations. You're not supposed to be under their mercy.
And it looked like Jeanette was asking about it, looking for a channel that talks about eat what food is clean and what's not. You don't need it. You don't need a YouTube channel. Leviticus 11. Leviticus 11. Just read that, and that will tell you everything that the creator of the universe says is clean and what is not. Continue on.
Are we on do not harden your heart?
Yep.
Do not harden your heart, nor shut your hand from the poor. If you see someone is poor, you're not supposed to turn them away. You're supposed to help them. You're supposed to, Yahuwah bless you, you're supposed to return the blessings to them, and Yahuwah blesses those who bless others. Guard month 1 of Yahuwah's calendar. We should know when his month is, and we should keep the feasts that are in there.
3 times a year, all males shall appear before Yahuwah. In the Holy Land during the holy times, the men were supposed to return to appear before Yahuwah. They could bring their sacrifice and show that they are still following his commands.
You're supposed to make judges and officers in all your gates. You're supposed to have people that ruled over you that were able to settle disputes. They were there to help you and guide you, and we were supposed to have their leaders of 50s, hundreds, and thousands.
Do not plant astral poles near the altar. There shouldn't be any astral poles at all, but just do not plant them near the altar. There must be 2 or 3 witnesses. When a matter needs to be established, there must be 2 or 3 witnesses to cause the matter to come into effect.
Hearken unto the prophet Yahuwah has chosen. When Yahuwah chooses a prophet, you listen to him. You listen to what he has to say and what he wants you to do.
Prophet test of Deuteronomy. There is a test to know if what they're saying is true or not, if you should listen to them or not. Do not remove your neighbor's property line. If your neighbor has a property line and you want your extra 2 inches on the land, according to what it says, you're not supposed to remove it. You're supposed to leave it as is. You're not supposed to be greedy with what you have.
I don't know, it's a false witness among Torah keepers. When someone is lying, when someone is doing falsely, they're supposed to be punished. When they find out they are lying and they feel conspiring against someone, then they are punished in a way that they want to punish the other person. Yahuwah does everything justly.
First child is get double portions. That is because the first child is supposed to be a leader. He's supposed to help the others when they need it, and then when the parents are gone, he can be there to help.
If your brother's cattle or clothes are lost and you find them, you must return them. If you find something that does not belong to you, you go and return it to the person it does belong to. When the cattle are running off or the clothes are left somewhere, you're supposed to return to them, because back in the day, everyone wasn't able to replace all these things super easily.
A woman should not wear what pertains to a man, nor a man wear what pertains to a woman. A man should be a man, and a woman should be a woman. There should be no confusion amongst the people of Yahuwah. If you find a bird's nest, the mother and the babies or eggs, take the babies, but not the mother. That is so. If you take the mother, the babies, the eggs will just stay there. But if you take the babies and eggs, the mother can go and make more.
If you build a new house with a flat roof that they lived on, you must put a land around it. Back in the day, people would build flat roofs to be a place to hang out, a place to sleep, and they would go up on the roof. But they had to put a railing around it because, people might roll off in their sleep or something, or I don't know, to take a trip or stand up and they actually wobble off the side. So I'll put a railing around it so people don't fall off it. More than likely, people don't have flat roofs these days. But if you do, put a railing around it.
I think in other cultures, they do. I think it's like Israel right now. I think there's flat roofs up
I
there.
think it's like the Western thing is making the pointed roof. So
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea, though, where rain runs off.
Yeah.
If it's flat, the rain and snow sits, right?
Yeah, but don't you need a flat roof for a contentious woman? Isn't that what Solomon said? Oh, wait,
Yeah,
never mind. I'm just kidding. Never mind. Yeah, keep on. Let's roll. Next.
I don't think it's quite like that, but
We
yeah.
get in trouble. I think that's what he said. It's better to live on a roof than with a contentious
The corner of
woman.
the roof, yeah.
And of course, he had 1,000 wives. This guy is like Rick said, this guy's supposed to be the wisest guy in all the world. This guy sounds like a dummy, big dummy, honestly.
do not be a prostitute. Very straightforward command. Just don't do it. Do not use dirty money. If somehow you come across dirty money, do not use it. Get rid of it.
Sarah says she has a flat roof on the RV.
Yeah. Yeah, be careful. Don't let anybody fall off their
Put a
RV.
line around it.
Yeah, be careful. Those things they'll fall through the RV on that.
That's my offense on the RV.
Okay, next, fellas. Let's get through
Let's
this.
see, we are on. Do not take a person's. No, we're on law of divorce. We are on. So when someone gets divorced, we're supposed to write them a letter of divorce, and they're supposed to take that, and they're supposed to return to them. They're supposed to go on their merry way and be separated for the rest of their lives.
Your unmarried way.
Yeah, I don't know about a merry way, but I mean,
Unmarried way.
yeah, they're not gonna be too merry right out of the gate. Maybe they are.
Maybe I don't know.
Maybe they're happy about this whole thing. Okay, continue on.
Do not take a bruised millstone for a pledge. Back in the day, the millstone was their only way to get food, their only way to make money, their only way of work. If you took that from them, there would be nothing they could do. If you lend your brother to not enter his house to get your payment, he must bring it to you, return his clothing before sunset, if that was his pledge. Back in the day, people would give their clothing for a pledge. They would give their clothing for a payment, for something that's to hold. And if it was the end of the day, you were to bring it back to them, that they did not go cold in their sleep.
Do not oppress the hired servant that is poor and needy. If there is a hired servant, he's poor and needy, you're not supposed to oppress him. You're not supposed to oppress any of your servants. You're not supposed to hurt them. You're supposed to love them. They're there because they need work.
And that's the craziest thing. I got to bring this up. you got the orange baboon, the orange buffoon, and he went and arrested like all the immigrants, right? All the hired servants, all the poor and needy, the guys that wanted to go work in the farms. Now everybody in Texas, Arizona, all these people like that have farms, they're all going bankrupt, not just because of the tariffs, not just because of the no fertilizer, but because nobody's there to work the farms. I don't know what they thought. I think they thought that, you know, the people were going to come out of the cities and start working the farms or something like this. But you had all these guys that with the red hats that were sitting there thinking that they were just going to come in and beat up all the immigrants. And then everybody else, everything that everybody wanted done is now happening to them. And no longer, the U.S. is just, if there is a commandment breaking country, like if there is the biggest commandment breaking country in the world, I would have to say it's the United States of America. And it's just over and over and over. And every week is just something more impressive in terms of evil. It's like, wow, that just got even more evil. So these are the commands that we have, right? Don't oppress a hired servant or poor, needy, things of this nature. This is what a good constitution would be in that. And that's why our Creator says, don't go back into the fields for the forgotten sheaves, right? The poor, the homeless, those that are struggling, the widows, the orphans, right? We have a place for them. We have something for them. We're not just going to leave them to the wolves. So the world we are in is a polar opposite of the Torah right now. It is really a sick place to be. And, you know, we're watching this madhouse as it just kind of creeps around. And, you know, I pray for all of us that we can make it through this stuff. Continue on, everybody.
Every man should be put to death for his own sin. Nobody dies for the sins of others. You die for your own sin. You are to be held accountable for what you do. Dude, go back to the forgotten sheep in the field, dude. For the stranger, fathers, or widow. There it is.
Spoiler alert.
So if you have too much crops and you forget, like this is a forgotten thing, you left some crops in the field, they were there. If you forgot it, you don't need it.
You said it, if they had too many crops. That's not what it says. If you're not supposed to go, like if you forgot a sheep or something, it's not a forgetting thing. It's that we're supposed to leave like the edges, and we're not supposed to like glean and re-glean and green, right? Glean. So like you go in and you see all the grapes, right? And you go strip the grapes, and then you send somebody back in to go find the next grapes, and then you strip it off. There's nothing left but vines. That's not what we are supposed to do. This constitution, this strategy that our Creator has built for us, is that even the poor among us are still going to be okay. And that's the power of Yahuwah. Look at the power of the devil. It's just it's just a polar opposite of a terrible world. Continue on.
Do not muzzle your ox when you tread out grain. When you have the ox, you're supposed to let him breathe, you're supposed to let him eat. You're not supposed to muzzle him, because that is a form of abuse. If your brother dies and has no child, you shall take his wife and his firstborn after your brother. So it's the way of keeping your brother's name alive throughout all the generations. At the end of 7 years, you are to read the Torah at the Feast of Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles. Back in the day when all the people would gather, when they all gathered together, you were to read the Torah. You were supposed to remind them that the Torah, for all generations, that they knew what the Torah was.
All right. Now, guys, is there anybody out there who can say that these are bondage? That what we just read is some sort of physical or spiritual bondage? I mean, it's just it's hard when you actually read the Torah. It's hard to make a case for such a thing, right? At making a case for harming the disabled, right? Or making sure that the poor aren't taken care of us. Everything that we would do to make a case that this is bondage is going to make life worse for those that don't keep it. And so this is the power of our Creator and why He has such a good set of rules and regulations. All right, yeah, we are back into the first of our reading. We are into the book of Bereshith, and Eli is going to be our picture guy. Jade, will you please give us a breakdown of exactly where we are to this and where we're going?
Yeah, so we are, well, not too far in Genesis. We have got through creation. We did all 6 days of creating stuff. He's did amazing, wonderful works, and He created 2 human beings. So now we are on, they're in the garden. The 2 people are living their lives, and I guess we'll see where they go from here.
All right. So here we are, everybody, and we got some pictures. We got story time for everybody. So we got pictures, some cool stuff. Eli's going to be doing this as I'm reading through it. So let us get into Bereshith, Genesis chapter 3. And the serpent was more crafty than any beast of the field which Yahuwah Elohim had made. And he said to the woman, "Is it true that Elohim has said, 'Do not eat of every tree of the garden'?" And the woman said to the serpent, "We are to eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Now, Jade, now here's the thing, guys. This is not just story time. This is story time with my boys. I had everybody give me pictures of what they read, because they read through these, and I said, give me some pictures. Now, the first one looks like a dinosaur, Jade. Can you tell me why we have a dinosaur here and what this is about?
So, I mean, we're not there yet.
Oh, okay. We're not there yet?
It's the serpent, so I showed the picture.
So are we calling this dude the serpent?
Yeah, this is a serpent.
This is before he's on his belly.
Yeah.
But it said he was a beautiful thing. This thing is ugly.
Well, I mean, this thing's up in the tree trying to see Eve. I don't say that's beautiful.
If this thing came to me and said, hey, come eat the tree, I'm like, man, you scaring me.
Oh,
I'm
sure,
like,
let me go grab my sword.
yeah, here, hold on. Let me get my weapons, and I'll come back and eat whatever it is you're after.
A couple of things to note here.
Okay.
Eve wasn't surprised by a talking animal, so more than likely animals talked.
Yeah, but this thing is vicious. This thing has some teeth. This thing has like
It's genuinely
4-inch fangs.
it's a snake.
It is a snake head, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a snake
tail.
It's a snake with a bigger torso and arms and legs.
I always thought this thing was like supposed to be like something beautiful. I'm not thinking this is it, but maybe we're guessing with you guys.
Different beauty standards.
And he has legs because it's. We'll get there in a minute.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Maybe y'all think it's beautiful. Okay. 2, and the woman said to the serpent, we are to eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim has said, do not touch it, nor touch it, lest you die. We're sorry, that is a serial killer hotline. Unfortunately, that is somebody calling from a prison, and literally we take a guess at which serial killer is actually calling us, and I don't know why they're calling me on Shabbat, but usually it's one of them. Continuing on. We are able to eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim has said, do not eat of it, nor touch it, lest you die. Now, this isn't the tree. This is a tree of good. This is the tree of life. This is the one that they didn't want to do.
We didn't get the picture of the tree then.
Nah, we don't have a picture of the tree. Okay, so here we are, guys. We have this. We have the devil, or the big snake, the Hasatan. And here's one of the very first, I guess, lies in all of Scripture, right? 4, and the serpent said to the woman, you shall certainly not die. Now, I guess maybe it wasn't a lie, right? I mean, because technically they don't physically die right away, per se, right?
Well, he manipulates Eve because Eve has a misunderstanding of the command. Yahuwah said, do not eat of the tree. She goes, do not eat or touch of it, lest you die.
Yeah, and that's what it says, right? And so that is a good point right there.
So he's able to manipulate her more easily because she does not understand the actual command.
Now, why do you suppose that Eve was the one that was bamboozled versus Adam? Why do you think this was important?
Probably because Adam got the command directly from Yahuwah. I think Adam then told it to Eve because didn't he give the command before he created them? Before he created Eve?
So is this Adam's fault?
I mean, maybe.
Is this that Adam hasn't properly husbanded his marriage? Maybe.
He might be new to this.
I think everybody's new to this, right? I mean, we discussed this before, right? I mean, this is like you're born a man and you should be in diapers, right? You don't really know what's going on here, but here you are. Okay, 5. For Elohim knows, this is the serpent. For Elohim knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be like Elohim, knowing good and evil. And the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desirable to make one wise. And she took of its fruit and ate. And she also gave to her husband with her, and he ate. Well, one verse, and that's it. That's it. Verse 6 is it. It's over.
The only command.
It's smoked.
Well, I said 2 commands, but yeah.
Right here, right? And, it doesn't sound like much, right? It's like she ate, then she gave it to her husband, right? Where is the discourse here? Where is the Adam? Look at this. What have you done, Eve? What is this, right?
Do you think he saw Eve eat it and he just accepted the fate with it? He's like, I guess I'll go with her instead of just like letting her die by herself. Do you think he was gonna just fall on the sword for her as well?
It's hard to tell, but what you can tell when you read the Apocrypha and you read the book of Adam and 𝐤𝐄𝐄 is that these guys were easily able to get suckered, right? Like it's hard. We all have an advantage as people that were born to diapers, born into the toddler world, where we don't know what fire burns us. We reach up and something, we get shocked in an outlet. things these guys just didn't know it. They had to go from baby to adult, unfortunately, at a very volatile time of their lives. And regardless, we can say they were maybe not they were not equipped enough, but they were equipped with the basics, right? Don't eat the tree. And they ate of the tree. And so that's the beginning and that's the end. So here we are.
Brandy says, do you think she told him where that particular apple came from?
Yeah, do you think so? That's a good question.
Well, I mean, I probably look different. I would imagine like there's no confusion, right? Like all of a sudden one day you're wandering in the garden, you don't remember where you're at. I mean,
The question was, do you think she remembered what was the question?
Do you think she told him where that particular apple came from?
Oh.
Like, did she
Or do you
tell
think
him where-
I think
where it came
she
from.
probably just be like, hey, this
I don't.
thing-
Yeah, I don't think. I think he would have done this by his own free will, right? He would have known this. I don't think it was like, here, this is a pear or something from the other side of the garden, and so it's one of those things that I think he was fully aware. I would guess. I mean, I don't think.
Or so he knew what he was doing ahead of time? Or
Yeah.
he just said, here, have an apple.
Yeah, I don't think he fell into deception. I think this is one of these things that you actually had to know and be aware of. But that's the hard thing, right? You don't know what spiritual death was at that point. You wouldn't know, so it'd be tough. Okay, here we go. Verse 6, that was a tough one here. 7. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew that they were naked as jaybirds. And they sewed fig leaves together and made loin coverings for themselves. And they heard the sound of Yahuwah Elohim walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahuwah Elohim among the trees of the garden. Now, that verse right there, I got to thinking about that. And anyone have anything on that one? Do you need to read it back? And they heard the sound of Yahuwah Elohim walking about in the garden in the cool of the day. Okay, just that. Let's talk about that.
I think he came down and was hanging out with him before.
They heard him walking. How are they ever going to hear him walking unless he has what?
Feet.
Legs, walking around, right? There's like something of what's happening here, right? And this is interesting, right? How else is if he was just in a spirit form, how would they hear him walking about? And so what we hear is that they were able to hear him walking and they were like literally hiding, right? Can you imagine how spooky that would be? I mean, it's literally like hiding from an enemy or hiding from, somebody they were so scared to do. 9. And Yahuwah Elohim called unto Adam and said to him, where are you? And he said, I heard your voice in the garden and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid myself. And he said, who made you know that you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree of which I commanded you that you should not eat? And the man said, I did it. Nope, actually the man didn't say that. The man said, aha, the woman who you gave to be with me, she gave of the tree and I ate. So here's some excuses. Us men, we have a lot of excuses about things right out of the gate. We're not taking any kind of blame for any of this, not at all. So it wasn't me, it was her. And so Yahuwah Elohim said to the woman, what is this you have done? And the woman said, the serpent deceived me and I ate. So here we are. Nobody's taking responsibility for any of this, right? You keep pointing up the line. And Yahuwah Elohim said to the serpent, because you have done this, you are cursed more than all livestock and more than every beast of the field. On your abdomen you are to go and eat dust all the days of your life. This is interesting, right? Nobody wants to take blame for this. Nobody wants to, nobody raised their hand per se on this. Sounds like the serpent more than anything. What you got?
Cindy says, back to him walking. Could it have been the spirit blowing leaves, perhaps hearing the wind kind of thing?
Could be.
Just curious.
I mean, it could be anything. I mean, I don't know. That's the thing about scriptures is a lot of times we don't get a lot of stuff, right? You'll have one chapter and it'll take us through like 25 years, right? And then it'll just tell us simple things like this. And, it gives you a question like, did it go down quite like this? How long was Yahuwah like walking or running the ruach through the thing? How long did he walk around? How long did he actually look for these guys? And that Yahuwah knew exactly what was going down before any of this encounter. We know that he knows the end before the beginning. We know he knows all of this. So, he's just kind of laying the story out and letting everybody basically claim their sins. 15. So the snake has just been burned. He's going to be on the ground. And, it's like we don't know exactly what the snake was prior to this. We don't know if it was this creepy looking dragon thing here, or if it was like a beautiful, some people say it was like a cherubim, like some sort of a beautiful thing. And from when you read the book of Adam and 𝐉𝐄𝐅, and it's very clear that 𝐻𝑆atan can like transform himself into like beautiful things, or like his default look is hideous, right? It really, really scares. When Adam is exposed to 𝐻𝑆atan in his hideousness, it scares him, right? Red eyes and beady stuff. I mean, he's just a grim looking thing. 15. This is Yahuwah saying this. And I put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall crush your head, and you shall crush his heel. Now we have some prophecy here, right? We have Bible prophecy. We have a part of our Messiah being here, trying to understand who is going to be crushing the head of the serpent, right? And crushing the heel. To the woman, he said, I greatly increase your sorrow and your conception. Bring forth children in pain. And your desire is for your husband, and he rules over you. Now, this is a tough thing, right? This is women in general have been cursed, I believe, far more than men. And I say that from a standpoint of cycles and women's cycles. And as a man, I've seen enough. I've seen enough that I am super, super glad this is not a man thing. And so in this, though, in verse 16, it's every woman because of this has been cursed. And, from your cycles to bringing forth kids, I mean, it's a happy experience once it's over, but, there's some trauma, and, men are not built for this kind of trauma. As tough as the old men are, we're not tough like that, if you know what I mean. 17. And to the man he said, because you have listened to the voice of your wife and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, saying, do not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. In toil you are to eat of it all the days of your life. And it shall bring forth thorns and thistles for you, and you shall eat the plants of the field. It's something interesting in this particular verse is that our Creator didn't say because you ate the forbidden fruit, you ate the whatever the fruit was, apple or be whatever it is. And you look at the actual, you look at Apple computers, right? You look at the Satanist Apple, and they have an apple with a bite out of it, and right, it's all satanic, and so it's like we live in this world of people just celebrating Satanism. But the commandment that he broke, or what he was charged with right here, is that he listened to the voice of his wife, in that he ate of the tree of which he commanded. That's something to very much consider, and understanding that we have to align ourselves to Torah. And sometimes if you or your wife come around and she's suggesting things and they go against the Torah, obviously as a man of the family, you've got to shut that down, right? Prior to this. That's why it's important knowing the Torah so we don't get stuck in things like this. 19, by the sweat of your face, you are to eat bread until you return to the ground. From out of it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you return. And the man called his wife's name 𝐉𝐄𝐅, because she became the mother of all living. And Yahuwah, Elohim, made coats of skin for the man and his wife and dressed them. All right, the first, what is it called? The person that makes the clothes? Seamstress? Seamer? It's not seamstress. Tailor. The first tailor we had was our Creator. We also know that in the book of Adam and 𝐉𝐄𝐅, that some of the messengers taught Adam how to sew, things of this nature. And we also can get from the Apocrypha things that 𝐉𝐄𝐄𝐅, she was very, very, very distressed. She said that everybody, for all generations up to the end of time, are going to hate her guts because of this. And there's probably something to be said, right? I mean, all you women that struggle with cycles and struggle with all the women stuff that just happens, that's a gift from Eve, right? I mean, that's something that came because of sin. And it's something that, it's easy to point fingers at people, but we, as you and I, that just were born in a man form back then, we would probably do worse. It would probably go down as worse. So, I mean, I think it's hard to actually find fault with these guys in the condition they were in. I think every single one of us would probably fall from grace in this thing. I don't know so much if any one of us would actually pass this test. Continuing on, 22. And see, Elohim said, see, the man has become like one of us to know good and evil. Okay, this verse, this is an interesting verse, right? You have the man has become like one of us, and it's a capital U for proper us. If it was just talking about us, like my wife and I were like, well, it's something about us, it's not going to be a capital U. So we're talking about an uppercase letter, and this throws off a lot of people that don't understand that our Messiah and all the messengers were essentially probably cheerleading this entire endeavor of creation and watching this go down. And I believe this has been their own type of television, right? Not the television that, you know, promotes all the satanic stuff that it is, but there's another type of television where creation was created, and basically there's just there's bleachers and everybody's sitting here watching all of this stuff that's going down. But our Creator says they've become like one of us. And anyone want to take a stab at this, boys? Eli, one of us? Why does it mean become one of us?
I think with like knowledge, understanding, to be able to like understand different aspects of things.
Yes, and become one of us is that it wasn't just the Creator of the universe on that day, right? We're talking about the people in the bleachers, the people that have seen this happen. So continuing on. 23, or actually 22 and a half. And now, lest he put out his hand and take also of the tree of Kai, the tree of life. And that's what you see right before you, and eat and live forever. So there's another tree, right? We have the tree of good and evil. And this tree is what we have actually eaten. So by Adam eating the tree of good and evil, we have all eaten the tree of good and evil. We all understand good and evil. Now, there's the other tree of the tree of life. And the Elohim says that that they need to remove man from the garden, lest he put out his hand, take of the tree of life and eat and live forever. So Yahweh Elohim sent him out of the garden of Eden to till the ground from which he was taken. And he drove the man out, and he placed the cherubim at the east of the garden of Eden, and a flaming sword which turned every way to guard the way to the tree of life. Now, guys, this is what we're looking for. You know, in our world that we're at, all of us, we are trying to get back to the garden, right? In all of this world that we are in, we want the garden life. We want the day before the tree of good and evil, and we're waiting for the tree of life. And again, when you look in the Apocrypha and you read the extra books, this tree of life is actually talked about quite a bit. And Adam kept trying to break back into the garden in the books of First Adam and 𝐤𝐄𝐄, in the Apocrypha and Yah scriptures. He kept trying to break back in over and over and over. And the cherubim with the flaming sword, I mean, there's several times in the Apocrypha that Adam dies because out of fear, various things that are happening to him because of this same cherubim and his wishes and knowledge and wants and yearning to get back to the garden. From the moment he was ripped out of the garden, all he wanted was to get back into that place. And so, you know, that's the same place that all of us are trying to find, that garden environment, that place where it's a pure place. And we're all stuck in captivity right now. All right, let us get into the next one. We are into the Joshua. What's that? Joshua, yes. Joshua chapter 3. Jade, will you please take us through, take us from the death of Moshe to where we are right now into the book of Yahushua.
So Moshe died. He appoints Joshua, Yehoshua, to lead the people. Now, Yahuwah keeps telling this guy to be strong, courageous. I think Joshua, he don't think he's ready to lead the children of Israel. He was the right-hand man to Moshe when he was around. He was his assistant. He was the guy who went up on the mountain with him. He was the one who learned. He learned from Moshe. This was the closest guy Moshe had in the human life. So Moshe dies. Yehoshua comes in charge of these people. Yahuwah talks to him directly and says, "Go and be strong and courageous."
And then he goes and sends people in to spy on the land, and they tell some ladies that they should protect them, that they would keep her alive when the walls go down, when this place goes down. If she, as long as she's in the house, then she will be safe. Everyone in the house will be safe, but everyone else will die. And she protected the men. They got out of there, and they came back with a report to Joshua.
Yeah, and so for those who do not know, there were no J's in Hebrew. So those who say Jesus Christ is actually saying an improper name, right? And this is the same for the book of Yahushua, Joshua. It's the same name. And so if you're looking at and the difference between the Paleo Hebrew Yahushua and what you see right here in Yahushua, it's the same thing. And a lot of people have, the UA or the A at the end of it. And in reality, the way that Hebrew works without vowels is there's several different ways to say this. Now, somebody is called Yahushua and Yeshua or Yeshua. They're going to turn around and they're going to look at you. If you go, hey, Yahushua, Yeshua, right? They're going to look at you. It's their name, right? It might just be a different kind of a name at the end of it, but they're going to turn back and look at you. And so, as we are trying to find proper names and getting all of our names right, this is just that, Yahushua is the exact same spelling of the Messiah, Yahushua. So let's get into this. Here we are, Yahushua chapter 3, Joshua. And Yahushua rose early in the morning, and they departed from Shittim and came to the Yarden, he and all the children of Yisrael, and stayed there before they passed over. And it came to be after 3 days that the officers went into the midst of the camp. And they commanded the people, saying, when you see the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah your Elohim, and the Kohen and the Levites bearing it, then you shall depart from your place and follow it. Only keep a distance between you and it, about 2,000 𝐤𝐄 by measure. Do not come near it, so that you know which way to go, for you have not passed over this way before. So here we are. We're about to cross the Jordan River, right? We are right at the edge of the Jordan River, and we are getting instructions from Yahushua. And Yahushua said to the people, Kadosh yourselves, for tomorrow Yahuwah is doing wonders in your midst. And Yahushua spoke to the Kohanim, saying, take up the ark of the covenant and pass over before the people. So they took up the ark of the covenant and went before the people. And Yahuwah said to Yahushua, this day I begin to make you great before the eyes of all Yisrael, so that they know that I am with you as I was with Moshe. And Jew, command the Kohanim, the priest, who bear the ark of the covenant, saying, when you come to the edge of the water of the Yarden, stand in the Yarden. And Yehoshua said to the children of Yisrael, come near and hear the words of Yahuwah, your Elohim. And Yehoshua said, by this you shall know that the living I'el is in your midst, and that he is certainly driving out from before you the Canaanites, and the Kittites, and the Kiwites, and the Perizzites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Jebusites. See, the ark of the covenant of the Adon of all the earth is passing over before you into the Yarden. Take for yourselves 12 men from the tribes of Yisrael, one man from every tribe. And it shall be as soon as the soles of the feet of the Kohanim who bear the ark of Yahuwah, the Adon of all the earth, come to rest in the waters of the Yarden, that the waters of the Yarden are cut off, the waters that come down from upstream and stand up as a heap. All right, anybody want to explain what we just read there?
So basically, the waters are going to stop. It's going to dry up the entire Yarden, and the Yarden is a very deep river. It is a very big thing. You can go swim in it fully submerged. So it's a very deep river. But the moment they walked in with the Ark of the Covenant, all the water stopped.
That's another miracle. I'd say it's similar to when they left Egypt. Something similar to that. I mean, I don't know if there's walls of water, but it stopped. It dried up.
Well, I don't know about it'd be a wall, but it says very clearly right here that they stand up. The waters come down from upstream and stand up as a heap. So yeah, I mean it's a running water, right? It's a big running water, and it's absolutely a miracle, right? This is the second time, and this is the curses and the blessings that came from Moshe, right? Moshe was all about this, right? He was like, you guys are going to pass over to the Jordan. You guys are good. And when you guys pass over the Jordan, what I'm presenting with you is blessings or curses. And he's like, Moshe gives them like a good thing, right? Lots of good things are going to happen to you. All your families are going to go over there, but you're going to disobey the words of our Creator. You're all going to go in captivity. All of your kids, everybody's going to go into captivity. This is what's going to be, right? And so prior to any of this happening, prior to them being able to walk on dry ground again, they were giving the vision of blessings and curses, that if they will obey the laws, the statutes, and commandments of our Creator, they will inherit the blessings. If they don't, they will inherit the curses. Now, this same motto, this same words, these same statutes are for us today. Every single one of us are standing before the Jordan River. Every single one of us, right? We're sitting there and we have our priests. We have 12 of them. They're getting ready. They're getting ready to stand in this. We're a couple of hundred amma behind them. And we have an opportunity that if we choose the Creator of the universe, we can walk over this Jordan in dry ground and we can continue on with blessings. But if we don't, we're going to walk over this and we're eventually going to find the curses. And these curses are going to destroy our families. It's going to be something that because we don't keep Torah, we'll raise up a group of children and these children will not keep Torah. And the generations keep getting eviler and eviler and eviler until there's possibly one or possibly somebody that just gets smacked, swung the side of the head, and they seek the Torah. Their eyes are open and they're like, wow, these are good instructions. These are instructions for life. Simply by us saying that these are not good instructions, we're doing ourselves, we're causing ourselves damage. So continuing on, and it came to be, when the people departed from their tents to pass over the Jordan, the Yarden, that the Kohanim, bearing the Ark of the Covenant before the people, and as those bearing the Ark came to the Yarden, and to the feet of the Kohanim bearing the Ark, dipped in the edge of the water. Now the Yarden overflows all its banks during all the time of the harvest. Just go back and forth to the text on that. That the waters which came down from the upstream stood still, and rose in a heap very far away from Adam, that city that is besides Zarethan, and the waters going down into the sea of Arava, the sea, salt sea, were completely cut off, and the people passed over opposite Jericho. Now, there's something to be said for the stiff-necked people of Yisrael. It's people that stood all this time with Moshe, and you would say that anybody that's able to see a giant river that's dried up that you can walk over is going to say, wow, this is impressive, right? This is a miracle. Right? But we know these people had actually gone over probably a far more impressive sea, the Sea of Reeds, in the same manner. But still, they got right out of the Sea of Reeds and they went to the waters of Meribah, right? They started complaining. Everybody started complaining about this, complaining about that. So you would think that, wow, this generation is going to see something that they would never, ever turn away from the Creator of the universe. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. 17. And the Kohen, bearing the Ark of the Covenant of Yahuwah, stood firm on dry ground in the midst of the Yarden. And all Yisrael passed over on dry ground until all the nation had completely passed over the Yarden. Okay, twice now. We have had an entire army, hundreds of thousands of people that were able to cross over. Now, these guys probably didn't just stand there for like 20 minutes. These guys probably stood there like all day, right? I mean, it took a long time. It's going to take a long time for people to pass over.
Yeah, I mean, there's like, what, nearly 1 million of them?
There's a lot of people. And
I mean, yeah, it's going to take a little, I mean, I guess it depends. I mean, yeah, it's probably going to be an
Where's our
all-day
picture
thing.
of this? Go over our pictures real quick, Eli, of our little guys here crossing
I
the
would say
area.
this is an all-day thing, right? It's like, I know a lot of them, some of them are going to be older, they're not going to move as fast, and they got bags to carry. So, yeah, I mean, this is probably wait your turn, you'll start crossing soon.
Yeah, so this is something, one point I think that we're probably all going to end up, on a second Exodus where we're trying to cross the ocean. The ocean is like, it's all like a crystal sea and we're able to walk over it. I mean, just incredible stuff just like this. All right, so these are the best of the pictures that we were able to come up with. I think the cherubim are actually on the wrong side on these. I think they're on the edges. I think the cherubim is up by this guy's head. We wouldn't be able to see their faces right here. Maybe the one on the back, I think, is the proper way of that. But we're trying to get some pictures for y'all. All right, now here we are into the book of 𝐤𝐄𝐄, our final book here. First, 𝐤𝐄𝐄, chapter 4. Now, this is an incredible book, just like all the books, right? There's not too many books that are not incredible. Here we are into this. Jade, can you give us a breakdown? First John, maybe a little bit of who 𝐤𝐄𝐄 was, what's he talking about? Where we're at to this point?
𝐉𝐄𝐅 is a disciple of the Messiah. He walked with and talked with the Messiah. He was there during his ministry, during his time on earth, and he learned directly from him. There was no greater teacher he could have had. He had the Messiah as his teacher. And Messiah has told these people to go out and feed the sheep, go out into the world, bless the people, help these people, and teach them, feed my sheep. And so that's what these people do. They write letters, and they started going around teaching Messiah, teaching Torah. They started bringing the people back and showing them the right way. And we have these letters from him, these books here, and he tells us to love our neighbors, keep the commands, do everything rightly. We just don't lie, don't steal. And he gives us the commands, and he tells us, basically, he gives us a simplified breakdown of how we should live our lives and what kind of people we should be according to Messiah and the Torah.
Yeah, and I mean, it always comes back to Torah, right? It's Torah first, then Messiah. Those who have a Messiah without the Torah are missing the other piece of it, and it's very, very, very dangerous because we don't want to wake up on that side of judgment where we have not been obedient to the Torah of our Creator. So here we are. 𝐉𝐄𝐅, First 𝐉𝐄𝐅, chapter 4. Beloved ones, do not believe every spirit, but prove the spirits, whether they are of Elohim, because many false prophets have gone out into this world. And guys, we live in a world of false prophets. We live in a world of demons. I mean, there's I don't know. It's just we live in a very, very demonic world. We need to be testing everything because everybody's lying. It's just, we're 6,000 years, right? We're almost to the end. And I mean, it's not like they haven't spent, the devil and all his little minions haven't spent the last 5,985 years working this deception. So we're at the tail end of this, and it's going to be up to us to try to figure this out and try to get to the bottom of it in the attempt of guarding our soul. 2, by this, testing the spirits, by this you know the Ruach of Elohim, the Spirit of the Most High. Now, the Spirit of the Most High is essentially the hand of the Creator of the universe, right? We have this Trinity hoax where people will say, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, it's all one, same thing.
It's like 3 in 1, but it's not all one. It's so confusing.
It is. And the problem is, I don't think anybody's ever going to come out of it, right? I saw, even the people that are hardcore Christians are trying to make a mark. I saw it the other day. A guy gets up there and he goes, he says Jesus went and had nails stuck to his arms, and then he goes, Jesus was God in flesh, and that is not true. He never says that. He absolutely never ever says that. And if you are under the assertion that the Creator and His Son are the same individuals, then you've been hoaxed. You've been hoaxed by the Catholics.
And imagine what the Pharisees had. He said, "I am God."
Oh yeah.
They would have.
They already did.
Well, they said he made himself equal to God by calling him His Son.
That's what they said. Yeah. They said he made himself equal to Elohim. He never made himself equal. He never once.
But if he said, "I am Elohim," he would have been dead right there.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they would have picked up rocks and they would have smoked him right there. 2, by this you know that the Ruach of Elohim, every spirit that confesses that Yahushua HaMashiach has come in the flesh is of Elohim. And every spirit that does not confess that Yahushua HaMashiach has come in the flesh is not of Elohim. And this is that of the anti-Messiah, which you heard is coming and now is already in the world.
That's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people. And, it's a funny world that we live in now. I mean, it's like, I think pretty much everybody sees what kind of world we are living in, but there is anti-Mashiachs everywhere. It's all over the place. It's just like, blasphemy is just kind of what they do. 4, you are of Elohim, little children, and have overcome them, because he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. This is a great verse, right? I mean, who has not heard this verse? Greater is he that is in me than he is who is in the world. This is so true, right? We have the existence of the greatest of Kodesha, the greatest of righteousness. What we have in our Creator is we have perfectedness. And then you have the polar opposite of this, which is what you have, the devil, Hasatan, evil, unrighteousness, unkodeshes, all these things that these people love. And it's not like the devils and the Satanists enjoy it. they froth in evil. Like it is, they bath in the greatest of evil. And it's hard for people like us to understand. It's hard for us to understand things that we're seeing with the files that are being released, the things that people have been willing to go to over the last decades, that the normal people are just like, wow, that's like a horror movie. 4, you are of Elohim, little children, and have overcome them, because he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. They are of the world, therefore they speak as the world, and the world hears them. Straight up, right? How can we be hated by the world? Speak the truth, right? How do you be loved by the world? Become a Christian, right? Start telling everybody the laws are on the cross, and you become very, very important to all of the heathens. 5, they are of the world, therefore they speak as of the world, and the world hears them. We, Torah keepers, are of Elohim. The one knowing Elohim hears us. How do you know Elohim? Who knows Elohim? How do you know Elohim? Do you have an address for him? What's his address?
The Torah.
Torah's an address, yeah. We don't need it. We don't need a physical address. Or we don't need to know where he lives or what he is doing, because we know him. How do we know him?
Because he created us, because we obey his Torah.
He gave us instructions. He gave us all of these instructions. And so the problem is nobody reads the instruction book. And when we do not read the instruction book, by default, we are, pagans. We don't know. And so we're ignorant pagans. So we are of Elohim. The one knowing Elohim hears us. He who is not of Elohim does not hear us. By this we know that the Ruach of truth and the spirit of the delusion. Beloved ones, let us love one another, because love is of Elohim, and everyone who loves has been born of Elohim and knows Yahuwah. So there's things that are very quite clear, right? Let's say, for an instance, that you take a country and you say, I'm going to bomb this country to oblivion. We're going to wipe out everybody. We're going to kill them all. And that's what we're going to do. They're either going to agree with us or we're going to kill them all. And we've done all this stuff, right? This is why I make the statement, there's no greater commandment breaking country than the United States of America. There's no country that has ever just done the kinds of things that the North America has done and is doing. And it's just, they're running it, right? They are completely on track, 90 going north on doing all of this stuff. But if we are of Elohim, if we are people who consider ourselves children of the Most High, well, we are this because we love one another. Because love is of Elohim, and everyone who loves has been born of Elohim and knows Yahuwah. Get us some pictures there, Sleepy Eli.
Not really a good picture.
There's no brothers. There's this strap. Where's that strapping guy? Mom sent this one dude with these. No, where's the fighting guys?
That's the wrong book.
That's the wrong book.
It's
Those are
second-
people who
second-
aren't. Look at that.
John.
Look at the muscles on that dude. You seen that guy? Yeah, these guys are going at it. So these people are not, right. We love, right. We are supposed to be loving our brothers, and those, if we don't, then we're breaking the commands of Yahuwah. This is very, very important. What happens if our brother is not doing Torah? What happens if our brother's evil?
We're supposed to love the stranger. I mean, if someone's not following Torah, that's considered a
We're
stranger.
to rebuke him. We're to rebuke him.
Rebuke him.
We teach him, we rebuke him, we love the stranger, because he, being outside of Torah, that automatically makes you the stranger in the land.
By this love of Yahuwah was manifested in us, that Yahuwah has sent forth his only brought forth Ba'in into the world, his son, in order that we might live through him. In this love, not that we love Yahuwah, but that he loved us and sent his Ba'in, his son, to be an atoning offering for our sins. Beloved ones, if Yahuwah so loved us, we also ought to love one another. Sounds good, right?
Yeah.
We give back to what we've been given. We've been given a hug in life. The Torah is a hug. The Torah is it's compassion. If you're looking for compassion from the creator of the universe, it's the Torah has been delivered to us right before our eyes. That's complete love. 12. No one has seen Yahuwah at any time. If we love one another, Elohim stays in us, and his love has been perfected in us. Okay? So that's a big thing. Brothers around this table, If you guys love each other, what about you guys like beating each other up? What does that have to do with brotherly love?
Don't beat her up.
Is there any lesson here? Is there anything I can bring? Is there any brotherly lessons? Mom says yes. She was shaking her head yes. All right, well, so anytime you fight, does that mean Elohim isn't in you, or does it just mean sibling rivalry?
Right.
Option 2.
Yeah, option 2. Okay, well, that's for Eli. So it's just sibling rivalry, but the love of Elohim is in you guys when you guys are beating each other up?
It depends on the fight. I'm mostly just joking. I'm not really fighting, so I gotta like I said,
See, that would have to mean we define what you think is a joke.
that's about everything.
I get that. And that's something that your brothers don't often think that's a joke. Continue on. 13. By this, we know that we stay in him and he in us, because he has given us of his Ruach. He's given us his spirit, which is supposed to be in us, right? The greater we keep our temples, the closer that we keep in Torah, the more that we're going to be able to wield the power of the Ruach HaKodesh that comes into us, right? That is why when, Messiah, according to the book of Khalidi, Messiah started glowing. Remember Moshe when he was hanging out with Yahuwah and his face is glowing? He comes out, everyone's like scared to death. They're like, this guy's like glowing. This is what we want, right? We want to be glowing. We want to keep ourselves as Kodesh as we can possibly keep, maybe find a spark in our glowing face, because we have what the Creator wants, which is a clean temple, which is a clean being. 14, and we have seen and bear witness that the Father has sent the Son, the Bane, Savior of the world. Guys, this breaks the Trinity. We have seen and bear witness that the Father has sent the Son. The Father did not send the Father, right? The Father did not send himself and call himself the Son and bamboozle us. It didn't work like that. The Son is the Son. The Father's the Father. Our Creator doesn't lie. His Son doesn't lie. The Torah doesn't lie. We know from Torah that honesty, integrity, lying, proper weights and measurements. So in the event that the Father was the Son and the Son was the Father, they are all one big thing, then everything in Scriptures has been lied to us, right? We don't have the truth in Scriptures, and if the truth is in the Scriptures, why are we even here? I refuse to believe that the truth is not in Scriptures, because I believe everything in Scriptures. And so when it says that the Father sent the Son, I believe that's what it says. 15. But whoever confesses that Yahushua is the Son of Yahuwah, Elohim stays in him, and he in Elohim. Now, we live in the Christian conundrum, Christian church, right? How to become a good Christian. You ask Jesus into your heart. Jesus, please forgive me of my sins, come into my heart, and live with me forever. Every Christian that is out there will very much tell you, most of them will tell you that's salvation. That you can go from that moment in time and you can become a giant adulterer, a giant sinner, horrible in the eyes of Yahuwah, and because you said that one prayer, because you asked Jesus into your heart, you are now saved. The problem is there's nowhere in Scriptures that it says that. And so if we are looking at that as an answer to how we are saved, well, if it doesn't come from the Scriptures, then we're breaking Deuteronomy 4:2. It's not in Scriptures. We don't know that. We don't know anything of that. And so we have to keep with Scriptures. And that's what is undoing the lies. All these people that told us, raise your hand at 8 years old, you're saved. Go baptize, you're saved. Come to the altar call, you're saved. None of that stuff exists, right? None of that stuff exists anywhere in Scriptures. 16. And we have known and believed the love that Yahuwah has for us. Yahuwah is love. And he who stays in love stays in Elohim, and Elohim in him. By this, love has been perfected with us, in order that we might have boldness in the day of judgment. Because he is, so are we in this world. Okay, big stuff right here, right? This says very clearly that we need to have love. Love. We need to love our brothers. We need to love everybody else. But then he kind of tells us why that we want this. He's like, that we want this, that we're ordered that we have boldness in the day of judgment, right? The day of judgment, it's going to be a tough time, right? There's going to be a lot of shame. There's going to be a lot of heads down, right? As we stand naked before our Creator on Judgment Day, and we are sitting there with the book of life, all of the evil that we have spoken, all of the good we have spoken, all of the damage we have done, all the times that we said something, threw a pebble in the water and that ripple went and took out our great-grandkids because of things that we said to our kids. It just carried on a generational curse. These are all things, right? So we got to be very, very careful that we are truly loved, that we are perfecting ourselves in the way that our Creator wants us to. 18, there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear holds punishment. And he who fears has not been made perfect in love. A lot of stuff, right? We have a lot of stuff in scriptures about fear. We know that we're not supposed to fear. We know that our Creator has full control. When you understand the extracurricular side of the world that you cannot see, and you understand that there's legions of messengers all around that have been assigned to us, have been assigned to our families, have been assigned to our things, that it's not that we're really trucking at it alone. We're really not just, trying to make it through this world alone. We're making it through with some extracurricular help on the background. And I truly believe that if all of us do the actual demonic activity that goes around us all the time, that probably the messengers that we can't see have sat there and beat down because it's not in the will of our Creator, I think we would have a lot more respect for the supernatural that we cannot see. And so all these times that, you're like, well, I don't hear anything from our Creator. I don't feel that He's there. Understand that you not even hearing something, that you not actually feeling anything at all is actually a blessing. It's actually a kodesha. And I'm not saying blessing is a bad word for you guys that are out there. I'm saying that the forces of darkness have probably been defeated and you didn't even know they were at war. And so you're here in silence. You're just like, well, I'm hearing nothing. I don't know. And there's a spiritual war going all around you, right? This is what the power that our Creator has. And so there is no fear in love. There's no fear. And love, if you love your Creator, you love His Torah. Right? If you just say, I love Elohim Most High, but I hate His Torah, you should be living in fear. You should be living in fear because you're messing with your soul. You're not guarding your soul. 19. We love Him because He first loved us. Very true. I don't think there'd be any other way to do it, right? We wouldn't know. If someone says, I love Elohim and hates his brother, he's a liar. For the one not loving his brother whom he has seen, how is he able to love Yahuwah, whom he has not seen? Anything, boys?
Okay, that's very true. I mean, how can you love what you have not seen, but you hate the person next to you?
So when you guys mess with each other, it's not hate,
it's not
right?
Hate, it's not hate.
Even though one of you hates it at the moment, that
we might hate what's happening. We don't hate each other.
So how do we learn from these scriptures amongst ourselves? Is there anything we can do to make it even better?
I would say yes.
It's the hot seat, isn't it?
No one else is answering.
Well, now, Eli, what do you think, buddy? Oh, wake up, Eli. Come over here. I'm just kidding. He's not asleep. Come here. What do you think about this whole thing? Do you think when you're picking on Jaden or Jaden's picking on you, is this perfect love of Elohim? Is this what we're talking about in this chapter? Is this just our family feuds?
I don't know.
Okay, what do you got? You're making noise over there? All right. Well, here we are. Well, don't be a liar, right? If somebody says they love Elohim and hates his brother, he's a liar. And that goes not for just the inter-brothers here, right? This is everybody, right? Brothers, sisters, everybody. And that's the problem. When we live in a religious system like Judaism that has goyim, and you're like, oh, hey, goy, and you hate a person, right? You hate them because they are not of Judaism. Right? How are you ever going to show them the love of our Creator? When you diss a race, when you diss a people, when you diss a country, when you diss somebody, how are you ever going to show them that the Creator of the universe loves everybody, right? The Creator never set red, white, blue, yellow, whatever colors of anybody, right? We all bleed the exact same, and we are all brothers and sisters. And a brother that is not a brother today could very well turn to Torah tomorrow. But are they going to turn to Torah if you're sitting there with your finger calling them a little goyim? You little goyim, you know what? Yeah, you are lesser than us. And you like stick your tongue at them, right? They're never going to come, right? But if you love them and show them love in this kind of oppression, they're going to go, why do you love me like this? Why is it that you're different than everyone else? You're going to say, because I have the Torah. I have Yahuwah. I have Yahushua. And that's what we have. 21, last verse. And we have this. Somebody grab the tunes, please. And we have this command from Him that the one loving Elohim should love his brother too. Okay.
Very true.
Big stuff. Yeah, and we have, we talk about this a lot in this house, right? We live in the world of customers, and customers are ruthless people, right? They will literally say the most ruthless stuff. Just today, when we're sitting here on Shabbat, Jaden's phone is sitting here ringing over and over and over. Everybody knows we do not answer the phone on Shabbat, but yet the people are like, get to the phone. So that is that. So with that, guys, the Torah of our Creator is absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely spectacular. And it is with that I hope that you guys have a wonderful week and that this has done something for you. It always does stuff for me. I love reading through this stuff with you guys. Jade, will you please bless our brothers and sisters?
Yahuwah barak you and guard you. Yahuwah make his face shine upon you and show favor unto you. Yahuwah lift his face upon you and give you peace.
All right, so we got a couple songs for you, and we will kick it off. Fingerprints of Yahuwah.
Yahuwah, Yahuwah, we lift your Kodesh name. Wonders unseen, yet perfectly the same. Great engineer, your commands we obey. It's foolish to stray, we choose your way today. Hallelujah, Yahuwah, pick Yahuwah right now. Obedient hearts, before your throne we bow. Yahuwah, Yahuwah, creation shouts aloud. Keep your Torah ways and wear your esteem proud. Look at your fingerprint etched in my skin. What's it for, Yahuwah? Let the truth rush in. Without those ridges, every cup would slide. Hands like glass, no grip, no hold, we cry. But you carve friction treads like tires on the road. So I can hold your promises, never let them go. Yahuwah, Yahuwah, we lift your Kodesh name. Wonders unseen, perfectly the same. Great engineer, your commands we obey. It's foolish to stray, we choose your way today. Hallelujah, Yahuwah, pick Yahuwah right now. Obedient hearts, before your throne we bow. Yahuwah, Yahuwah, creation shouts aloud. Keep your Torah ways and wear your esteem proud. Formed in the womb in week 10 to 15, Bicycle cells buckle, Turing patterns collide. Even identical twins, their prints never align. Minutiae dots, bifurcations, poor lines so fine. Billions alive and still no true designs. All yours divine. Yahuwah, Yahuwah, we lift your Kodesh name. Wonders unseen, yet perfectly the same. Great engineer, your commands we obey. It's foolish to stray, we choose your way today. Hallelujah, Yahuwah, pick Yahuwah right now. Obedient hearts, before your throne we bow. Yahuwah, Yahuwah, creation shouts aloud. Keep your Torah ways and wear your esteem proud. Imagine life without them, total defeat. But you gave us perfection, touch so sweet. Sensitivity, height and texture as we feel. Koala echoes it, yet humans reveal. Your signature never changes from birth till we're gone. Permanent blueprint of the master engineer, you alone. Yahuwah, Yahuwah, we lift your Kodesh name. Wonders unseen, yet perfectly the same. Great engineer, your commands we obey. It's foolish to stray, we choose your way today. Hallelujah, Yahuwah, pick Yahuwah right now. Obedient hearts, before your throne we bow. Yahuwah, Yahuwah, creation shouts aloud. Keep your Torah ways and wear esteem proud. Now hear the audio wave roll off my tongue. Vocal cords, vibrators shaped by palate and lung. Reverberates through teeth, sculpted by lips so true. Complex waveforms dancing just for you. Coakley air cells bend in liquid grace. Frequency map fires, brain deciphers your praise. It's soon 20 to 20K. Foam is crystal clear, so every tongue can worship. Yahuwah, we're here. Yahuwah, Yahuwah, we lift your Kodesh name. Wonders unseen, yet perfectly the same. Great engineer, your commands we obey. It's foolish to stray, we choose your way today. Hallelujah, Yahuwah, pick Yahuwah right now. Obedient hearts, before your throne we bow. Yahuwah, Yahuwah, creation shouts aloud. Keep your Torah ways and wear your esteem proud. All the science bows to the wonders of our King. Yahuwah the Creator, that's why the heavens sing. You said, keep my commands, obedience is life. Foolish to wander, chasing shadows and strife. Pick you out a day, walking his perfect light. The great engineer designed us for his delight. Wonders unseen, they're perfectly designed. Commands we obey, it's foolish to stray. You choose your way today. Obedient hearts, before your throne we bow. Creation shouts aloud, keep your Torah ways and wear your esteem proud.
All right, guys, we'll do one final song on this whole thing. And I saw Loving Yah had a comment on there. She's just like, is Jason only child? As a matter of fact, I am. And maybe that is my problem. Maybe I don't understand this. Maybe and it's probably I'm an only child because I probably would have killed my brother if my brother would have treated me like these guys treat each other. So, yes, I'm a little rookie-ish on this. And I do have a human pack, and I also have a dog pack that everybody is family as well. And they represent the same thing. They all fight amongst themselves, and I don't understand it. So I guess as an only child, there's a few things we don't understand, and I guess that's one of them. So, all right, guys, let's get the last song on here, number 6.
Every command is a shield, every statute a light. Yahuwah's Torah keeps the darkness from stealing our sight. You can't kill the law and still then wonder why society crumbles every single day. The same hand that wrote the stars wrote these words in stone that still apply forever. You were never left alone. Every command is a shield, every statute a light. Yahuwah's Torah keeps the darkness from stealing our sight. You can't kill the law and still expect a world that stands. Oh, kingdom people, keep the commands. Lawless ones get banned. Oh, every command is a shield. Every command is a shield.
All right, fam. Every command is a shield, and it truly is. Be strong and be courageous. May Yahuwah bless you and keep you. May his light forever shine on you. May the Ruach of the Most High be everything in your guys' life. May the Torah be the guiding post for everything. May Messiah Yahushua be the king. And may we all one day high five each other as we have made it to the kingdom as obedient children of the Most High. We love you guys very, very much. Shabbat Shalom.